Let your body grow still, and let your mind begin to quiet. Lower the sound, ease your head back, and breathe slowly, letting each exhale loosen something inside you. In the snowy depths of a pine forest, there stands a small wooden cabin, and tonight you may rest there as long as you like. The windows glow with a soft, buttery light, and snowflakes settle silently against the glass. The forest sleeps all around, white and hushed and endless. Inside you are warm beneath thick blankets, far from every worry. Let the gentle weight of sleepiness gather behind your eyes, and let the falling snow lull you down into rest. Down by the cabin's edge, a wide flat stone still holds the warmth of the sun, and you sit on it barefoot, watching the last violet light drain from the sky. The pines are turning to black silhouettes, soft-edged and still. Crickets begin their slow chorus in the long grass, a sound that rises and falls like breathing. The warm night air smells of dust and resin and something green and growing. A gentle stream runs nearby, its voice low and constant, and you let it carry your thoughts away one by one. Above, the first stars open quietly in the deepening blue. You feel no urgency to move, no reason to hurry. The stone is warm beneath you, the night is kind, and everything slows. The fire in the hearth has burned down to a low, steady glow, and you sit before it as the autumn evening turns the windows to gold. The flames are small now, more warmth than light, and they paint the log walls in soft moving amber. Outside, the pines hold the last of the day on their crowns. You rest deep in a worn armchair, your feet near the warm stone of the hearth, a blanket loose across your lap. The wood crackles now and then, a gentle sound in the quiet. You watch the coals breathe orange and dim and orange again, and feel the long day settle softly into your bones like the evening settling over the trees. As the daylight fades, you set a pot of soup to warm on the stove, and the cabin slowly fills with the soft scent of it, mingling with wood smoke and pine. Outside the window, the snow glows its last pale pink before sliding into blue. You stir the pot now and then with a wooden spoon, in no hurry, watching the dusk deepen over the clearing between turns. The fire crackles low. Steam rises gently from the pot and fogs the cold edge of the window. There is a deep and simple comfort in the warmth, the scent, the quiet dimming of the day, and you let yourself sink into it, content, as the early winter night gathers softly outside. The cabin's small bathroom has a window that opens onto the trees, and tonight you soak in a tub of warm water, the night air drifting cool across your shoulders. A single candle burns on the sill, its flame swaying gently. The summer dark presses soft against the glass, and the pines beyond are still. Steam rises slowly from the water, mingling with the green scent of the forest. The warm water holds you, weightless and calm, and the candlelight glows low and kind. Outside, the crickets sing and a stream whispers far away. You let your head rest back against the rim of the tub, your eyes half closing. The warmth seeps into every muscle, the night is gentle, and a deep and easy peace settles slowly over you. You have nested in the window seat with cushions and a heavy blanket, your back against the timber wall, and from here you can watch the rain and feel the warmth of the stove at once. The drops fall soft and steady on the glass beside you and on the roof above, and where they meet the snowbank, below they vanish into gentle grey. The lamp burns low. The pines stand dark and dripping in the night. There is a deep contentment in this small chosen place. The cushions, the blanket, the rain at the window, the warmth at your back. You feel your eyelids lower of their own slow weight. The rain murmurs against the glass, close and kind, and you let it lull you to sleep. The cold has frozen the cabin windows into pale sheets of frost, and the moonlight filters through them soft and pearly, spilling across the wooden floor. You are wrapped in a quilt near the warm stove, your socked feet stretched toward the heat, a cup of tea cooling slowly at your side. Outside, the snowy pines stand in perfect stillness, dark shapes against the luminous snow. The warmth of the room is deep and certain, a soft cocoon against the freezing night. You breathe slowly, watching the frost glitter faintly where the moon touches it. A great, gentle quiet lies over everything, and you let it settle into you, calm and unhurried, like sleep gathering slowly at the edges of a long winter evening. Out on the small porch, wrapped in a thick blanket, you tilt your head to look at the moon hanging clear and full above the forest. Its brightness washes the snow until it almost seems to give off its own pale light, and the pines stand like quiet sentinels at the edge of the clearing. The cold air is crisp and clean in your lungs, faintly sweet with pine and wood smoke from the chimney behind you. You can see your breath rise in soft clouds that the moonlight catches and holds for a moment. Everything is so still that the silence feels like a gentle weight on your shoulders. You stay a little longer, content, before slipping back inside to the warmth. The deep cold has frozen the little stream behind the cabin into a ribbon of pale glass, and snow lies smooth and untouched across the clearing. From your seat by the window you can just make out the dark line of pines, holding the frost at bay. Inside, the kettle has gone quiet, and the room is full of soft heat from the stove. You wrap both hands around a warm clay cup and feel the cold leave your knuckles. The lamplight is low and gold, the shadows are soft and long, and the frozen world beyond the glass seems very far away. You breathe out slowly, watching nothing in particular, letting the deep winter quiet carry your thoughts gently downstream towards sleep. By the window of the warm cabin, you have set a small bowl of melting snow to watch it glisten in the starlight. Beyond the glass, the night is clear, and the stars shine over the forest in a slow, glittering hush. The pines stand wrapped in white, their boughs heavy and still. You rest your chin in your hands and let your eyes wander across the sky, following no path, needing none. The cabin is warm and quiet, the fire low. Each star seems to hold its place with infinite patience, and the longer you watch, the more the night seems to slow around you. The snow, the stars, the gentle warmth at your back, all of it blends into one calm, drowsy stillness that asks only that you rest. Inside the cabin, an old phonograph plays a soft, slow record, the needle hissing gently between the quiet notes. You lie on the rug in the warm dark, eyes closed, letting the music wash over you. The melody is low and unhurried, full of long, gentle chords. Through the open window drifts the green scent of the summer forest and the cool whisper of the breeze. The wooden floor is warm beneath the rug, the room dim and snug. Outside, the crickets keep their own soft time, and a stream murmurs far away. The music turns slow and dreamy, each note softer than the last. You feel your body sink into the floor, your breath slowing to the rhythm of the song, the warm night and the gentle music carrying you down. The smell of wood smoke drifts gently through the cabin as the morning fire settles into a steady, low burn. You sit close to the stove, warming your hands, watching the soft glow behind the iron door. Outside, dawn has come quietly to the snowy forest, washing the pines in pale silver light. Snow lies thick and undisturbed across the clearing. The cabin is warm and dim and deeply peaceful, scented with cider and burning pine. You breathe slowly, feeling the heat soak into your fingers, listening to the small comforting sounds of the fire. There is nothing you need to do this morning but rest here, held in the gentle warmth, while the white world wakes outside. In the corner where the spinning wheel stands unused, the afternoon sun pools warm and golden across the floorboards. You sit on a low stool and let the light fall over you. Dust drifts through the beams, glinting and slow, settling and rising again on the faintest breath of air. Beyond the frosted glass, the pines hold their snow with quiet patience, lit at their edges in soft amber. The cabin is warm and still. You can hear the small sounds of the wood settling, the faint sigh of the stove. You watch the golden square inch its way across the planks, marking the slow passage of the afternoon, and you feel no urge to move at all. A gentle creak sounds from the cabin roof as the night's snow shifts in the warming morning air, then all falls silent again. You lie still in your bed, listening to the small settling sounds of the wooden house around you. Pale light seeps through the curtains, growing slowly brighter. The air is cool, but beneath the quilts you are snug and warm. Outside, the snowy forest waits in deep stillness, the pines heavy and motionless. There is something deeply soothing in the quiet creaks of the cabin, the soft language of old wood and settling snow. You close your eyes again and breathe slowly, in no hurry to rise, cradled by the calm of the winter morning. Beyond the cabin's frosted window, a doe steps slowly through the deep snow at the edge of the clearing, her breath a soft cloud in the cold dawn air. She moves without fear, pausing now and then to lift her head toward the brightening sky. The pines around her are wrapped in white, the first gold of morning just touching their tops. You watch quietly from within, careful not to stir, a blanket warm around you. There is a deep gentleness in the scene, the slow grace of the deer, the soft glow of the light, the silence of the snow. You feel your own breathing slow to match her unhurried pace, and a calm settles through you, smooth and complete, as the morning slowly wakes. Inside the cabin, the firelight has begun to take over from the dimming daylight, throwing soft orange shapes across the timber walls and the low ceiling beams. You lie on the rug with a cushion beneath your head, watching the light flicker and shift above you. Through the window, the last grey blue of dusk lingers over the snow, but in here the world is all warm motion and quiet crackle. The logs glow deep red at their hearts. You feel the heat on the side of your face and the soft weave of the rug beneath your hands. The flames rise and settle, and your eyelids grow heavy in the warm and shifting light. The blue hour finds you wrapped in a quilt by the cabin's small window, watching snow lie soft and luminous beneath the darkening sky. The pines have become tall blue shadows, motionless in the windless evening, their tops still faintly touched by the last of the light. A low fire glows in the hearth, painting the wooden walls a warm, dim gold. You cradle a cup of something hot and let its warmth seep slowly into your palms. The room is quiet, the world outside quieter still. There is nothing pressing, nothing pulling. You breathe in the wood smoke air and feel your thoughts grow slow and soft, drifting like the dusk that gathers gently over the sleeping forest. Beneath a thick drift along the meadow's hidden border, a vole tunnels slow and warm through the soft world it has carved beneath the snow. There, in the dim space between the white ceiling and the frozen ground, the air is gentle and the cold is held away. It moves unhurried along its little corridors, then curls into a grassy chamber to rest. Above, the snow lies smooth and unbroken, giving no sign of the small life moving beneath. From the cabin you see only the calm white field stretching toward the trees. Yet under that quiet surface a tiny creature sleeps in perfect shelter, and the secret warmth of it, hidden and safe, makes the wide cold night feel softer than before. The cabin's small writing desk sits beneath a window, and tonight you sit there in the warm dark with a pen resting idle on a blank page, in no mood to write, only to be still. A single candle burns beside you, its flame steady and gold. The summer night breathes through the open window, sweet with pine and grass. The wooden walls are dim and snug. Outside, the dark trees sway and a stream murmurs low. The blank page glows softly in the candlelight, and the pen is smooth and cool in your hand. But your eyes have grown heavy, your thoughts drifting far from any words. You set the pen down gently, fold your arms on the desk, and rest your head, the warm and quiet night drawing you slowly down. Deep in the night, a small pot of water left near the stove sends up the faintest curl of steam, and the cabin air is warm and faintly humid, soft on the skin. You lie beneath the quilt, drowsy and content, watching the steam thread upward and vanish into the dim ceiling shadows. Outside, the snowy pines stand silent under a moonless sky, the darkness deep and soft and complete. Now and then the timbers tick gently as they cool. There is no sound from the forest at all, only that vast padded winter quiet. You feel yourself sinking slowly into the mattress, your thoughts dissolving like the steam, and the warm dim room cradles you tenderly as you drift towards sleep. Through the misted cabin window, the snowy forest is a soft watercolor blur. You sit in the warm dim with a blanket over your knees, watching the fog drift slowly past the pines. The trees fade and return as the mist thickens and thins, their dark trunks gentle against all that grey. A candle burns steadily on the sill, its small flame doubled faintly in the glass. The cold presses softly at the window, but the room holds its warmth close. There is nothing here that hurries. The fog moves at the pace of breath, and you find your own breath slowing to match it. Your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts grow soft, and the gentle grayness beyond the glass becomes a lullaby with no words at all. In the cabin's small front room, you light a single beeswax candle as the spring dusk deepens outside. Its honeyed scent fills the warm air, and its small flame steadies and glows. Through the window, the pines stand dark against a sky going slowly grey, and the last snow lingers pale in their shade. The wooden walls hold the day's gentle warmth. You sit in a soft armchair with a cup of warm milk, and the cool evening air drifts faintly under the door, carrying the smell of thaw. You take a slow sip. The candle flickers once, then holds. Everything is quiet and close and kind, and you let yourself settle deeply into the stillness of the hour. The deep cold has crept across the cabin windows in delicate sheets of frost, each one a small frozen garden caught mid-bloom. You watch them from beneath a pile of warm blankets, the stove glowing softly across the room, its heat reaching you in slow, gentle waves. Outside, the snowy pines stand motionless in the freezing dark, and not a single sound breaks the vast winter silence. You feel the warmth gathering around you, the soft weight of the covers, the slow rhythm of your own breathing. The cold cannot touch you here. It only decorates the glass and waits patiently in the dark. Your eyelids grow heavy in the dim amber light, and you let the long, quiet night carry you slowly down towards sleep. It is the deepest part of the night, when even the wind has gone quiet and the snow lies undisturbed in long, smooth curves around the cabin. Inside, a single oil lamp burns low, turned down to the merest thread of flame, just enough to keep the dark soft rather than total. You are tucked beneath layers of quilts, warm to the very tips of your toes. The walls hold the gentle heat of the day's fire, and the air is still and mild. Far off, a branch lets slip a soft cushion of snow with a muffled, distant whump, and then the silence returns, deeper than before. You breathe it in slowly and feel sleep gathering at the edges of your mind. A pair of mittens lies drying on the hearthstone before the low fire, still faintly damp from the evening before, gently warmed by the fading coals. In the first grey light of the snowy morning, the room is dim and still. Through the window, the pines stand wrapped in white, the sky softening slowly toward gold. You sit nearby, a blanket around your shoulders, watching the soft glow of the embers and the slow brightening of the day. The cabin holds the faint, sweet scent of wood smoke and wet wool. There is a quiet domestic comfort in the drying mittens, the warm hearth, the patient light. You feel your thoughts settle calm and easy, your breathing slow and deep, content in the gentle peace of the waking cabin. From your warm seat by the cabin window, you watch the snow fall in the last blue light of evening. The flakes drift down softly, catching the fading glow so that they seem to shimmer faintly as they pass. The pines are deep green-black against the snow, their boughs bending gently under the day's gathering. There is a great, soft hush over the clearing, the kind that comes only with falling snow. You wrap your hands around a warm mug and breathe slowly, letting your gaze rest on the drifting white. The light fades a little more, and the snow keeps coming, patient and unhurried, until the clearing glows softly with its own pale light, and your thoughts grow quiet and slow. The fire has burned low now, and its voice has changed to something even gentler than before, a slow, soft settling of embers, each one glowing and sighing and sinking into the warm bed of ash. There are no flames left to crackle, only this quiet inward sound, the faint tick and whisper of coals growing slowly cooler in the dark. It is the sound a fire makes when it is content, when the work of the evening is done and only warmth remains. You watch the dim red glow and listen to its small contented murmurs, and the heat wraps around you like a held hand, and the soft sighing of the embers carries you down towards sleep. Wrapped in solitude by the cabin window, you watch the snow gather softly on the pine boughs and feel your mind grow clear and calm. As the lamplight is low and golden, the room dim and warm. A memory rises gently of an old family dog from years ago, the warmth of it dozing at your feet on cold evenings, the simple, uncomplicated love of it, and you hold the recollection fondly, glad of its company. It asks nothing of you, only keeps you warm. Beyond the glass, the forest sleeps beneath its smooth white blanket, motionless and serene. As the fire breathes low, your thoughts move slow and easy, and you feel a tender peace settle through you, deep and gentle as the quiet winter night. On the cabin's small porch, you sit wrapped in wool and watch the mist move through the pines like a slow gray procession. The snow glows softly under a clouded sky, and the fog drifts low, brushing the white ground, curling around the dark trunks. A lantern hangs above you, its light pooling into the haze. The cold air is clean and still, and your breath rises to join the mist. Far off, a branch lets go of its snow with a muffled sigh. Everything moves slowly here, or not at all. You feel the day's weight ease from your shoulders, carried off into the fog with every slow breath. After a long, gentle while, you rise and step inside, where the warmth folds around you like a quilt. You sit cross-legged on the rug before the low-burning stove, but it is the moonlit window that holds your eyes. The snow beyond glows soft and bright, and the pines stand tall and silvered against the pale night sky. A single star burns near the moon, faint beside its brilliance. The cabin is warm at your back, the firelight amber on the floorboards, and the air carries the gentle scent of resin and ash. You watch the light shift slowly as a wisp of cloud passes, dimming the snow to gray and then letting it glow white once more. Everything moves slowly here, gently, without urgency. You feel your breathing deepen and your shoulders ease, the bright, quiet night drawing the last of the day's tension softly away. You lie beneath layered quilts in the small loft, where the slanted ceiling slopes close and snug above you. A faint breeze moves through the cabin somewhere below, lifting the edge of a curtain for a moment before letting it fall, and then the air is perfectly still once more. Through the little gable window you can see the tops of the snow-laden pines, dark and unmoving against the dim gray sky. The cold outside makes the warmth of the bed feel deeper, kinder, wrapped close around you. You hear nothing now but the soft sound of your own breathing, slow and even. The stillness holds you gently, and your thoughts begin to loosen and quiet, drifting easily into the long, soft dark. The little cabin holds you close this spring evening as you lie on a soft rug before the dying fire. Outside, the snow has nearly gone, and the dark, damp earth smells of moss and rain through the cracked window. The pines stand quiet in the deepening dusk, and a swollen brook murmurs faintly in the distance. The fire glows low and orange, its warmth seeping into your tired limbs. A wool blanket lies soft beneath you, and a cushion cradles your head. The room is dim and golden and very still. You watch the last embers pulse and fade, your breathing slow and deep. The night settles gently over the forest, and you feel yourself sinking softly, comfortably, toward the edge of sleep. The hardest frost of the season has come tonight, sealing the forest stream beneath clear ice and rimming every pine bough in white. Inside the cabin, you have built the fire to a low, steady glow and wrapped yourself in a thick blanket before the hearth. The warmth spreads slowly through the dim room, loosening your shoulders, easing the chill from your hands. You hold a mug of warm cider, its sweet scent mingling with wood smoke in the still air. Beyond the frosted glass, the frozen woods lie silent and serene, unmoving in the deep cold. You sip slowly and feel the warmth gather in your chest. There is nothing to do but rest, and you let the quiet of the long winter night carry you gently down towards sleep. A kettle steams gently on the cabin's small iron stove, and the golden evening light fills the kitchen with a warm amber haze. You stand waiting for the water, your back near the stove's mild heat, watching the steam rise and curl in the slanting sun. Through the window, the pine forest has gone quiet, the high needles still catching gold while the lower trees fade into dusk. The kettle's low whisper builds slowly toward a soft whistle. You lift it before it can cry out and pour the water over the leaves, breathing in the rising scent. The simple ritual is enough. So you carry your warm cup to the window and watch the day let go. The spring evening settles softly over the little wooden cabin, and you stand by the window watching the last snow soften at the edges of the clearing. The pines hold their dark green hush, and somewhere among them a slow trickle of melting ice taps a gentle rhythm against a stone. The air smells of damp bark and cool earth waking beneath the white. You let your shoulders drop, your breath grow long and even. The lamp inside glows amber against the dimming sky, and the floorboards hold the day's faint warmth beneath your feet. There is nowhere you need to be. The light fades by slow degrees, and you simply rest in it, easy and unhurried. The cabin sits quiet beneath a deepening blue sky, its single lit window casting a faint gold square onto the snow. You stand on the porch a moment, breath fogging gently in the still, cold air, watching the forest dissolve into dusk. The pines have lost their detail, becoming soft dark shapes against the indigo. Snow muffles every sound, and the silence feels soft rather than empty. You step back inside, where the warmth wraps around you like a held hand, and latch the door gently. The fire glows low across the room. You settle into your chair, let your shoulders drop, and watch the blue night arrive slowly through the glass, calm and unhurried as your own slowing breath. Deep in your warm bed, you watch the bright moon framed in the window and listen to the perfect silence of the snowy forest. The light lies soft and silver across the room, and beyond the glass the pines stand luminous and still, their branches bowed with gleaming snow. The cabin is warm and dim, the stove glowing low, the air gently scented with cedar and ash. You feel wrapped in safety and calm, the heavy quilt soft against you, the night holding its quiet all around. A faint hush of snow slipping from a high bough reaches you, then stillness returns, deeper than before. You let your gaze soften on the glowing window, your thoughts drifting slow as the clouds, and feel yourself sinking gently, peacefully, into warm and easy sleep beneath the patient moon. Very late, a thin slice of moon hangs over the snowy clearing, and its faint, cool light slips through the cabin window to rest on the foot of your bed. You watch it drowsily, the pale gleam on the quilt, the soft dark folds of the blanket. The stove ticks low and warm. Beyond the glass the pines stand silent and white-laden, the snow between them smooth and undisturbed and faintly glowing. The whole night is held in a deep, windless calm. You feel the warmth of the bed and the quiet of the forest blend together into one soft sensation of safety. Your breathing slows. The moonlight pools gently on the quilt, and your eyes drift closed as sleep settles softly over you. The fire has burned down to embers, and the room glows half with their warmth and half with moonlight. You lie on the narrow bed, watching the bright square on the floor inch slowly across the floorboards as the moon climbs. Outside the window, the snowy pines are bathed in silver, so still they might be painted. The cabin smells of wood smoke and the faint resin of the timber walls, warm and familiar. You pull the blanket to your chin and let your eyes follow the slow travel of the light. Each time the embers shift with a soft sigh, you feel a little drowsier, a little more at ease. The moon keeps its slow watch over the forest, and you let it carry your thoughts away. By the cold hearth, where ash sleeps grey and undisturbed, the afternoon sun reaches in and lays a long stripe of light across the floor. You sit on the braided rug, knees drawn up, watching it. The light is the color of ripe wheat, and it gilds the edges of the stone, the iron poker, the small stack of split logs waiting in the basket. Through the window the snow lies smooth and bright, and the pines wear their white coats softly. A faint warmth radiates from the sunlit boards beneath you. You trace the grain of the floor with one finger, unhurried, and the slow gold light keeps you company without asking anything at all. The firelight throws soft moving shadows on the timber ceiling, and you lie watching them shift while the rain keeps its steady time on the roof. The shadows lean and sway as the coals settle, a slow silent dance in warm orange and brown. Outside the night is wet and grey and gentle, the snow softening under the fall, the pines dripping in the dark beyond the window. You are deep in the blankets, your body heavy, your breathing slow. There is something hypnotic in the shadows and the rain together, the silent moving light and the soft unbroken sound, and you feel your thoughts grow slow and shapeless beneath them. Your eyes follow the shadows until they will not stay open, and the rain plays on, and you sleep. High on a sheltered ledge of the old stone chimney, a small flock of rosy finches has gathered to spend the night, drawn by the faint warmth rising from within. Their brown and pink bodies are puffed into soft rounds, and they perch shoulder to shoulder along the worn stone, sheltered from the wind by the cabin's bulk. The snow cannot reach them here in the lay of the wall. They are silent now, their small heads tucked, their breathing slow. From inside you hear nothing but the settling of the fire, yet you know the birds rest just above, warmed by your hearth. The shared heat of the night feels like a quiet gift given both ways, and you let it carry you gently towards sleep. You settle into bed and watch the bright moon framed perfectly in the upper pane of the window. Its light spills across the room and lays a soft silver wash over the quilt and the floor. Beyond the glass, the snowy pines stand tall and quiet, their branches gleaming faintly under the clear night sky. The cabin is warm, the air gently scented with wood smoke, the stove glowing low and steady. You watch the moon drift slowly higher, your eyes following its patient climb, and feel the deep stillness of the forest settle around you. A soft hush of snow slipping from a branch reaches you, then silence. Your breathing slows, your eyelids grow heavy, and the bright moon blurs softly as you drift down into warm and easy sleep. You stand a moment at the cabin's small window before bed, watching the pale blue dark settle over the snowy pines. A faint breeze drifts past outside, lifting the lightest veil of snow from a branch, then the air falls still and the forest holds its perfect quiet. The room behind you is warm and dim, the lamp turned low, the stove glowing soft in the corner. You feel the cool of the glass and the warmth at your back, and the calm of the hour settling through you. There is nothing pressing in this quiet night, nothing to hold. You let your gaze rest on the dark, silent trees, and the deep stillness eases your thoughts, slow and gentle toward rest. Blue hour settles over the snowy clearing, and the cabin glows warm at its heart. You stand by the window watching the pines lose their color, fading into soft dark shapes against the deep indigo sky. Snow lies smooth and luminous across the ground, glowing faintly in the failing light. Behind you, the wood stove radiates a low, comfortable warmth, and the air is sweet with cedar. You wrap your hands around a warm mug and let the heat seep slowly into your fingers. Nothing moves in the still evening. The silence is soft and complete. You feel your thoughts grow quiet and unhurried, your shoulders softening one slow inch at a time, as the dusk deepens gently toward a peaceful, dreamless night. Out in the deep cold, the snow lies smooth and pale, glowing faintly under a sky scattered with sharp, bright stars. Inside the cabin, you have lit the oil lamp and settled into the reading chair with a wool throw over your legs. The stove ticks softly as it holds the chill at bay, and the warm amber light gathers close around you. The frozen pines stand utterly still beyond the frosted window, locked in winter's vast silence. You cradle a warm cup in both hands and feel the heat ease into your fingers. The cold cannot reach you here, it only waits quietly in the dark. Your breathing slows, your thoughts grow soft and unhurried, and the long, peaceful night settles around you like a gently falling snow. A low fog blankets the snow around the cabin, soft enough to round every sharp edge of the world. You walk the short path from the porch to the woodpile, boots crunching gently, your breath joining the mist. The pines rise and fade in the haze, dark and patient, their branches heavy with white. The cold is clean and kind. The lantern at the door glows like a small warm star through the grey. You pause to listen, and the silence is so deep it seems to hum. Snow rests in soft mounds on every bough. Then you gather an armful of wood and carry it inside, where the fire waits and the warmth folds around you, and you let the door close softly on the misty, sleeping pines. In the corner of the main room, a small debed is heaped with soft pillows, and there you settle as the warm night deepens. A single candle flickers low on a nearby shelf, its light soft and golden. The open window lets the forest in, its hush of needles, its cool green breath. The wooden walls hold the day's gentle warmth, and the room is dim and snug. You sink into the pillows, a thin sheet drawn loosely over you, and listen to the slow chorus of the night. An owl calls once far away, and the stream murmurs on. The candlelight sways, painting soft shapes on the ceiling. Your eyes follow them, slower and slower, until the shapes blur and soften, and the warm dark gathers you in. A single moth has found its way in and rests now on the warm lamp's base, its wings still, content as you are to wait out the rain in the light. You watch it idly from the bed, your thoughts slow, the rain soft and steady on the roof above. The wood stove glows low and orange. Through the window the snow lies grey beneath the fall, and the pines hold their dripping dark. There is a gentle kinship in the moment, you and the moth and the fire all sheltering together from the wet night, all warm, all still. Your eyes grow heavy in the lamplight. The rain keeps its patient time, the moth keeps its place, and you let the warm, soft dark draw slowly over you. The clearing before the cabin is dotted with the season's last wildflowers, and the golden evening light makes their pale petals glow. You walk slowly among them in the cooling air, not picking any, only looking, letting your gaze move from bloom to bloom. The pine forest stands dark and tall around the edges of the meadow, its crowns touched with amber. A breeze moves through the grass, and the flowers nod, and a few seeds drift loose upon the air. You breathe the cool, sweet scent of the evening field. The light slips lower, gilding everything for one long quiet moment, and you feel a deep contentment settle over you, soft as the coming dusk. Night has folded over the snowy forest, and inside the cabin only the faint orange of the banked fire remains. You lie on the dabbed by the window and watch the snow come down in the dark. The flakes are barely visible, just pale flickers passing the glass, lit for a heartbeat by the dying coals before they vanish. The pines outside are deep shadows now, their branches sagging softly under the day's accumulation. There is no sound but the faint settling of the fire, and, you imagine, the soundless hush of snow meeting snow. You watch the slow descent through half-closed eyes, and the gentle motion of it carries your thoughts away, soft and slow, into the welcoming dark. In the blue hour, the snow outside seems to hold its own faint light, glowing pale beneath a sky the color of deep water. You stand near the cabin door, watching the pine forest soften into shadow, each tree a quiet silhouette against the dimming blue. The cold beyond the glass only makes the room feel warmer. A single lamp glows low in the corner, and the kettle has long gone silent. You feel your shoulders ease downward, one slow inch at a time. There is no hurry in this hour, no edge to anything. The dusk drifts on, gentle and unbroken, and you let your thoughts grow as soft and slow as the falling light over the snow. From the cabin window, you watch the spring evening sky shift through its slow, soft colors over the snowy pines. Gray gives way to a faint rose along the tree line, then to dusky lavender, then to deepening blue. The last snow catches each tint in turn, glowing pale beneath the darkening trees. The air is cool and mild, and a gentle breeze stirs the topmost branches. You stand quietly with a warm cup, simply watching, feeling no need to do anything at all. A meltwater stream murmurs faintly somewhere below. The first star appears, then another. Behind you, the lamp glows warm and steady. The colors fade by slow degrees into night, and you feel yourself fading gently with them toward rest. The little weather vane on the cabin roof glows briefly orange in the last horizontal light, then stands black and still against the fading sky. You watch it from the paths, leaning on your shovel, the work of clearing the step now done. The clearing around you lies blue and quiet, and the pines have gathered the shadows close. The west holds a low band of dusky rose. Your breath rises slow and pale, and the cold is clean in your chest. There is a deep satisfaction in standing here, the small task finished, the evening coming gently on. You watch the rose dim toward grey, then shoulder the shovel and walk back through the soft snow to the warm light of the door. The spring evening lays a soft grey calm over the clearing as you sit on the cabin steps, a warm shawl around your shoulders. The snow has melted to thin pale streaks beneath the pines, and the dark earth shows through, damp and fragrant. The air is mild and cool and very still. A meltwater stream murmurs steadily nearby, a low soothing voice in the dusk. You watch the light fade slowly from the sky, grey deepening toward dusky blue above the dark treetops. A single bird sings a few drowsy notes and falls silent. The lamp glows warm in the window behind you. You feel utterly unhurried, wrapped in the quiet of the hour, and you breathe slowly and let the peace settle into you. Out where the pines thin toward a moonlit meadow, a barred owl has settled onto a broad horizontal branch to rest between the slow hours. Its dark eyes are soft and unblinking in its round face, and its mottled brown feathers blur it into the trunk behind. It is not calling tonight. It sits in companionable silence with the snow and the stars. Now and then it turns its head a slow degree, then stills again. From the cabin you watch its patient shape and feel your shoulders loosen. There is no urgency in the owl, no restlessness, only a deep acceptance of the quiet dark. You breathe with it, slow and full, and the night wraps gently around you both. The snow lies smooth and untouched beyond the cabin window, and you sit alone within the warm hush, at peace with your own company. A candle burns low, its small flame steady in the still air. A fond memory rises gently of a long-ago campfire under summer stars, the crackle of the flames, the closeness of friends, the easy talk that drifted into comfortable silence, and you hold it lightly, smiling into the dim room. The recollection warms you, asking nothing in return. Outside, the pines stand heavy with snow, silent and patient beneath the dark sky. The candle lanes and steadies. Your thoughts grow slow and gentle, and you feel a deep contentment settle through you, calm as the snowfall over the sleeping forest. You sit by the window with a cup of warm milk cooling in your hands, watching the snow lie smooth and silver under the dim moon. A faint breeze drifts through the pines outside, almost too soft to see, lifting a thin shimmer of snow before the air settles into deep quiet. The cabin is warm and dimly lit, the stove glowing low, the lamp turned soft and golden. You feel a great calm settling in your chest, gentle as the still night. The forest rests in perfect silence, the trees dark and patient beneath the pale sky. You breathe slowly, feeling the warmth of the cup and the cool of the glass together, and the deep stillness draws your thoughts gently down toward rest. Evening settles over the snowy clearing in deepening shades of blue, and the cabin glows like a small warm heart in the cold. You stand by the stove, feeding it a single log, watching the sparks rise and vanish into the dark of the flue. Through the frosted window, the pines have faded into soft dark forms, and the snow between them glows a faint, dreaming lavender. The latch is fastened, the curtains half drawn, the room warm and close. You lower yourself onto a worn bench near the fire and let the heat work into your shoulders. Outside, the dusk thickens without a sound. Nothing hurries here. You feel your breathing deepen and slow, and the calm blue evening wraps around the cabin like a quiet promise of rest. By the cold window of the cabin, you watch a faint mist of stars gather in the deepest part of the sky, dim and soft and countless. The night is clear, the snow glowing pale in the clearing, the pines wrapped in white silence beyond. You sit close, a blanket around your shoulders, and let your gaze drift into that faint scattering of light. The cabin is warm and quiet, the fire low. There is nothing to do but watch and breathe. The stars seem to rest in the dark with infinite patience, and the longer you look, the more the night slows around you. The warmth at your back, the hush of the snow, the soft mist of stars above the forest, all of it eases you gently toward rest. The afternoon sun reaches the bed where you lie atop the covers, fully dressed and drowsy, and it lays a warm gold band across your chest. You watch the light through half-closed eyes as it moves with infinite slowness over the quilt. The wooden ceiling beams are warm and close above you. Through the window, the snowy pines stand patient and still, their crowns lit soft amber. The cabin is hushed. You feel the warmth of the sun sink through your clothes and into you, heavy and kind. There is nowhere to be and nothing to do. The long light holds you gently, and your breathing deepens, and the edges of the room grow soft and warm and far away. A single candle burns on the table, and its flame doesn't flicker, for the cabin is sealed and snug against the cold. Through the frosted pane you see the snow falling in loose, lazy spirals, lit here and there by the candle's reach. The flakes are large tonight, soft as goose down, and they tumble past the glass with a kind of sleepy grace. You rest your chin on your hand and let your gaze go soft. The pines beyond have grown rounder, their edges blurred by the gathering white, and the path to the door has nearly disappeared. Nothing stirs but the snow. You breathe in the faint scent of wax and wood smoke, and feel the night settle gently around you like a quilt. On the dresser sits a small dish of buttons of bone, and a single thimble, standing among them like a tiny silver hat. You might slip the thimble onto a fingertip, and feel its cool dimpled cap, the worn smooth band, the faint give where years of pressing needles have softened its tip. The dimples catch the lamplight in 100 tiny points. Beside it the bone buttons lie pale and round, each ringed with fine age lines. The dish beneath is shallow blue glass, cool to the touch. Snow gathers on the dark window. The lamp glows low and warm across the little gathering. The thimble keeps its quiet readiness, a small worn helper resting among the buttons as the evening eases gently towards sleep. Mist threads slowly between the snow-laden pines as a deep hush settles over the cabin. From the dim doorway you watch it move, pale and unhurried, weaving among the dark trunks like something half asleep. The snow lies smooth and deep, glowing faintly in the low light. A single window behind you spills warm gold onto the white ground, where it meets the fog and softens into nothing. The cold air is gentle on your face. Somewhere a pine releases its snow with a muffled sigh and falls still. You feel the calm of the place sink into you, slow and deep, like the mist settling into the snow. There is nothing to do but breathe and watch. After a time you turn inward, toward the warmth and the waiting quiet dark. On the windowsill rests a single white feather, drifted in from somewhere and kept for its softness. You might lift it by the quill and feel how weightless it is, watch how the lamplight slides along its barbs, see the faint grey shadow that runs down its center shaft. Its edges are slightly ragged, a few barbs separated into soft fronds. It trembles at the smallest breath of air. Snow gathers on the dark glass behind it, white on white. The lamp glows low and warm across the sill. The little feather asks nothing of the evening. It simply rests where it landed, soft and pale and impossibly light, stirring gently in the room's quiet currents as the night drifts towards sleep. The fire has burned down to embers, and you carry a single candle to the window to look at the night. Snow has stopped falling, and the clouds have parted to reveal a sky brimming with quiet stars. They shine without sound, without urgency, a soft scattering of light over the dark hills of pine. You set the candle on the sill and watch its small flame waver beside that vast, calm field of stars. The cabin smells faintly of wood smoke and cedar, and the cold pressing at the glass only makes the warmth behind you feel kinder. You stand there a long, slow moment, letting the stillness of the sky pour gently into you, until even your thoughts begin to settle and grow soft. On a nail beside the window hangs a small round mirror, its silvered back gone spotty and dim with age, its surface holding only soft shapes now. You might glance at it and see the lamp reflected as a warm blurred glow, the dark window doubled, your own face a gentle indistinct shadow. Its frame is a thin band of tarnished tin, cool to the touch, dented just slightly at the bottom rim. A faint cloud of age dims the center of the glass. Snow drifts past the real window and the reflected one alike. The little mirror keeps no sharp images anymore, only soft warm light and quiet shape, hanging patient on its nail as the room sinks slowly into evening stillness. From the doorway of the cabin, you watch the last faint smoke of the chimney rise toward the stars. The night is clear and cold, the snow pale and luminous, the pines dark and motionless. Above the smoke, the sky is brimming with quiet light, the stars scattered thick across the deep, still dark. You stand with one hand on the doorframe, breathing slowly, letting the calm of the night settle into your chest. There is no hurry here. The smoke thins and vanishes among the stars, and the sky goes on glittering, patient and serene. You watch a while longer, comforted by the warmth at your back and the vast quiet above, then step inside and let the door close softly on the cold. In the deep middle of the night, the snow lies so smooth and deep around the little cabin that the whole world seems to have been gently tucked in, hushed and rounded and soft beneath its white. You lie warm in your bed of quilts, listening to the vast quiet of it, the deep padded silence of the buried forest. The stove glows low, its embers a soft, steady orange. The window is dark, fogged faintly with the warmth within. There is a deep contentment in this, in being so small and warm and sheltered at the heart of the silent winter night. Your thoughts slow and soften and fade. You let your eyes close, and the great gentle quiet carries you down into sleep. The frost on the cabin window has thickened into a delicate forest of its own, tiny crystal trees branching slowly across the glass while you watch from beneath a heavy quilt. Beyond it, the real pines stand black and silent in the deep cold, their needles dusted white. The lamp inside burns low and amber, and the warmth of the room feels like a small, kind secret kept against the freezing dark. You trace one frozen fern with a fingertip, feeling the faint coolness of the pain before pulling your hand back into the blankets. Your eyelids grow heavy in the soft glow. Outside, the cold holds the world perfectly still, and inside you slowly let yourself grow still as well. The cold has settled so deeply that the icicles along the eaves have grown long and clear, glittering faintly in the starlight. Inside the dim cabin, you have banked the fire to a low, steady glow and burrowed beneath a thick down quilt on the bed. The warmth holds you snugly, your feet finally thawed, your breathing slow and even. Beyond the frosted window, the pines stand silent and white, frozen in the deep midwinter hush. You watch the embers breathe their soft red light across the room, listening to the great quiet of the frozen woods. There is nothing to do but rest. The night stretches long and gentle around you, and you let the warmth and the silence carry you slowly, easily, down into sleep. A heavy fall of snow slides at last from the steep cabin roof, gathering speed for a moment and then landing in the deep drift below with a soft cushioned thud, muffled and round, and immediately gone. The sound is large but not sharp, a great soft sigh of snow finding the ground, and after it the silence seems even deeper than before. You lie warm beneath the now lighter roof and listen to the last few loose flakes pattering softly down, and then to nothing at all. The cabin feels eased, unburdened, settled for the night, and the deep cushioned quiet that follows the fall wraps around you like another warm blanket, drawing you slowly into sleep. Deep in the night, frost has drawn slow feathered patterns across the lower corners of the window pane, delicate ferns of ice grown silently while you dozed. A low candle burns on the table, its small flame steady in the windless room, throwing a warm wavering circle onto the wooden ceiling. Beyond the glass, the snowy pines are bathed in faint blue starlight, a hush so complete it feels almost soft to the touch. The cabin breathes around you in tiny creaks of cooling wood. You pull the blanket higher and watch the candlelight tremble gently against the frost, and a deep, untroubled calm spreads through you, slow as warmth moving into chilled hands. The cabin's back door opens onto a small herb garden, and on this warm night, the air there is thick with the scent of mint and thyme and lavender. You stand among the low plants in the dark, trailing your fingers over their soft leaves, releasing their gentle fragrance. The summer night is mild and still, the pines beyond standing dark and quiet. Moonlight silvers the little garden, and dew is just beginning to gather on the leaves. Behind you, the cabin glows warm and golden through its windows. The mingled scents of the herbs are calming, almost dreamlike, and you breathe them in slowly. A cricket sings nearby, then another. You linger in the soft dark a while longer, then turn back toward the warm and waiting cabin. The night is hushed and the cabin warm, and you sit alone with the soft pleasure of solitude wrapped around you like a familiar coat. The lamp glows amber, and the snow drifts slow beyond the dark glass. A fond memory comes gently of a long train journey years ago, the rhythm of the rails, the passing landscape, the rare freedom of having nowhere to be but here, and you hold it lightly, smiling into the quiet room. The recollection brings only ease. Outside, the pines stand silent beneath their weight of white, the forest perfectly still. The fire breathes low and steady. Your thoughts grow slow and gentle, and you feel a deep contentment settle through you, calm as the snowfall over the sleeping woods. The old clock on the mantel keeps its slow and steady time, a soft wooden tock that fills the spaces between every other sound. It is not loud, this small heartbeat of the room. It is the kind of noise you stop hearing and then hear again with a kind of comfort, like the breath of someone sleeping nearby. Tock and tock and tock, each one the same, each one a small gentle marker laid down in the dark. You let the rhythm settle over you, even and unhurried, asking nothing, simply keeping the night company. And as you listen, the spaces between the ticks grow somehow softer, and your thoughts begin to slow to that same easy pace. The first pale light of morning slips through the frosted window, soft as breath on glass. You lie beneath a heavy quilt in the little wooden cabin, listening to the deep hush of the snowy forest. The pines stand silent and white outside, their branches bowed beneath last night's snowfall. Inside, the air is cool and still, smelling faintly of wood smoke and cedar. A thin grey thread of warmth lingers from the dying embers in the stove. There is nowhere to be and nothing to do. The day will arrive slowly, gently, in its own quiet time. For now, you simply rest, wrapped in warmth, watching the dawn settle like a soft grey blanket over the trees. Blue hour drapes itself across the snowy forest, and inside the little cabin the day winds down to nothing. You move a kettle off the heat, hang a damp towel by the stove, and lower yourself into a deep armchair with a long, slow sigh. The window shows a world gone dim and lavender, the pines fading softly into the gathering dusk. A single candle burns on the sill, its flame unwavering in the still air. Warmth seeps gently from the wood stove and pools around your feet. There is nothing left to do today, and the knowing of that loosens something in your chest. The evening deepens, quiet and kind, and you let your eyes close in the warm, dim glow. Inside the cabin, an old rocking chair sits by the open window, and there you settle with a soft shawl loose around your shoulders, more for comfort than for warmth. The summer night breathes gently through the screen, carrying pine and cool grass. The chair rocks slowly, its runners creaking softly on the wooden floor. A single candle glows low across the room. The pines outside sway dark against the stars, and a stream murmurs far away. The shawl is soft against your skin, the chair familiar and kind. You rock slowly, slowly, your gaze drifting to the candle's quiet flame. The warm night and the gentle motion ease every thought from your mind, one by one, until there is only the soft creak of the chair and the slow, deep rhythm of your breathing. In a thick, snowy hedgerow along the old stone wall, a flock of tree sparrows has gathered low to roost, their rusty caps and grey breasts dim among the tangled branches. They press in close where the snow has bent the twigs into a sheltering arch, and there they rest, warm against one another, hidden from the wind. The night is deep and the cold is sharp, but within the hedgerow it is gentle. From the cabin, the snow-mounded wall is a long pale ridge in the dark, holding its quiet sleepers. There is a soft and faithful peace in the way the small birds find their shelter night after night. Watching the still white hedgerow, your thoughts grow quiet, and the calm of the sleeping flock settles softly over you. Now and then the fire shifts, and a log rolls slowly against another with a soft, low rumble, settling into a new and steadier place. It is an unhurried sound, more a sigh than a crack, and the flames murmur a little louder for a moment before easing back to their gentle crackle. You watch the dim warm glow flicker faintly on the ceiling and listen to the fire rearranging itself, patient and slow, the way a sleeper turns over in the night. There is comfort in it, in the steady work of the fire keeping the room warm and the small soft sounds it makes while doing so, and you let that comfort fill you as your eyelids grow heavy. Inside the dim cabin you draw the worn quilt up over your lap and watch the snow outside catch the very last of the daylight, glowing a soft pearl blue between the shadowed trunks. The fire has burned down to a bed of deep orange coals that pulse gently in the hearth. There is no need to add another log just yet. You sit in the half-dark between the cool window and the warm coals, suspended in the quiet of the hour, and let your thoughts drift slow and aimless. The light outside dims by gentle degrees. The coals breathe their soft orange glow. And little by little, in the gathering peace, your eyes begin to close. On a peg by the door hangs a single woolen mitten, its mate gone missing some winter past, its cuff stretched soft from years of pulling on. You could press it between your palms and feel the dense felted warmth of it, the small darned patch at the thumb where careful stitches close an old hole, the few pale flecks of lint caught in its nap. It still smells faintly of wood smoke and cold air. The lamp by the door glows low and steady, and beyond the glass the snow comes down in slow loose flakes. The lonely mitten waits without sorrow, holding the shape of a hand that warmed it, content to hang in the dim and gentle hush as the long night settles in. You have set a chair beside the window and dimmed every light, so that the stars become the brightest thing in the room. Their faint silver glow falls across the floorboards, soft and cool, and through the glass the sky stretches deep and clear over the snowy forest. The pines stand still beneath their white crowns, the clearing glowing faintly. You settle into the chair, a blanket over your knees, and let your gaze rest on the countless quiet stars. The cabin is warm and hushed, the fire low. There is nothing to do but watch and breathe. The night holds itself in perfect stillness, the stars patient overhead, and slowly, gently, the calm of the dark sky eases your thoughts loose and carries you towards sleep. The window seat overlooks the frozen creek, and the afternoon light turns its smooth ice to a ribbon of gold winding between the snowy pines. You curl there among soft cushions, knees tucked beneath a heavy quilt, watching the world glow. The low sun catches the underside of every branch, and the soft drifts along the banks. A robin, puffed against the cold, sits motionless on a nearby bough, gilded by the light. The cabin behind you is warm and dim, smelling of wood smoke. You rest your cheek against the cool glass and watch the long shadows stretch slowly across the snow, and the quiet of the late afternoon seeps gently into you. You are tucked into the corner of an old wooden chair, and the cabin holds the warmth of the day's small fire. Beyond the window, the snowfall is delicate, almost shy, as if the sky were testing whether you might notice. Each flake drifts down at its own slow speed, and you find a strange comfort in their lack of urgency. The forest is a soft silhouette, the pines wearing thin white caps that grow a little fuller with each passing minute. A faint blue light lies over the snow, and the lamp's glow reaches just far enough to catch the nearest flakes mid-fall. You watch them appear and vanish, and your breathing falls into the same unhurried rhythm. Tonight the deep cold is so complete that the snow squeaks faintly even under its own weight, and the stars over the pines burn sharp and clear. Inside the cabin you have settled into a nest of cushions before the stove, a heavy knit throw across your lap. The fire breathes low and steady, and its warmth wraps around you like a slow tide. You can feel the contrast at the window, the chill leaning quietly against the glass, but here, close to the embers, everything is soft and golden. A faint scent of cedar drifts from the woodpile by the door. You let your breathing slow to match the fire, and the frozen night holds you gently, asking nothing at all. The cabin sits hushed in the fog, and from your bed you watch the pale grey light shift across the ceiling. The snowy pines beyond the window have vanished into mist, leaving only soft greyness everywhere. The stove ticks faintly as it holds its warmth. The blankets lie heavy and kind. Outside, the fog has smoothed the whole forest into a dreamless stillness, and no sound reaches the little room. You feel safe here, tucked away in warmth while the grey morning drifts on beyond the glass. There is no reason to rise, no edge to the hour at all. You let your eyes fall half-closed and your breathing slow, and the gentle quiet of the mist carries you, unhurried, back toward the soft, warm shallows of sleep. A pair of old boots waits by the cabin door, and you sit on the bench to pull them on, for the golden evening has called you out for one last slow walk. The leather is worn soft, and the laces familiar in your fingers. Outside, the autumn sun pours low and amber across the clearing, gilding the long grass and the high pine branches. The air is cool and clean. You walk the worn path to the forest's edge and back again, in no hurry, breathing the resin scent, watching the light deepen toward dusk. When you return to the warm doorway, you pull the boots off again, and the calm of the evening comes inside with you. The blue hour comes slowly to the snowy clearing, and the little cabin glows like a held breath of warmth in the cold. You stand at the window with a blanket around your shoulders, watching the pines lose their color and turn to soft silhouettes. Snow blankets the ground in a smooth, luminous sheet, faintly violet in the failing light. Behind you, the wood stove ticks gently as it cools and reheats. You let your gaze rest on the far line of trees and feel your thoughts grow quiet and unhurried. Nothing moves in the still evening. The dusk deepens, patient and kind, and you feel yourself settling into a deep, easy calm, as soft and complete as the snow outside. Through the open kitchen window, the night pours in cool and fragrant after the heat of the day. A kettle of chamomile has long since cooled on the stove, and its honeyed scent lingers in the small room. You stand at the counter in the dim, your hands resting on the smooth worn wood, looking out at the dark wall of trees. A few fireflies blink lazily among the lower branches, soft green sparks that fade as quickly as they come. The floorboards are warm under your bare feet. Far away, a stream murmurs over stones, a sound so steady it might be the cabin's own quiet pulse. You breathe it all in, slow and full, and feel the day loosen its hold. Fog hangs thick among the snowy pines, and the cabin glows quietly at the heart of it. From the doorway you watch the mist drift slowly past the dark trunks, pale and unhurried. The snow lies deep and smooth across the clearing, glowing faintly in the dim. A lantern hangs above you, its light spreading softly into the grey. The cold air is clean and still, and the silence is so complete it feels almost like a presence. You breathe slowly, watching the fog gather and thin, patient as the night itself. The calm of the place sinks deep into you. After a long, quiet while, you turn inward toward the warmth, leaving the mist to keep its gentle watch over the sleeping forest. The afternoon light reaches the small table by the bed where a glass of water sits, and it passes through the water and casts a wavering circle of gold upon the wood. You lie propped on one elbow, watching it shimmer and shift. The low sun slants warm across the quilt and gilds the lamp and the worn book beside it. Through the window, the snowy pines stand quiet and bright. The cabin is hushed and warm. You watch the little ring of light tremble as the afternoon eases on, and you feel a deep and gentle drowsiness settle over you. The long gold light holds the room softly, and your eyes grow heavy, and you let them rest a while. Out beyond the porch, the snowfield catches the sunset and turns the color of pale apricot, smooth and unbroken all the way to the trees. You ease open the cabin door just enough to feel the still, cold air on your face, and it smells of pine resin and wood smoke. The pines stand dark and patient against the glowing west, their tops catching the last warm light. Somewhere a branch lets go of its snow with a soft, padded sound. You rest your forearms on the railing and simply watch, in no hurry at all, as the bright edge of the sun touches the horizon and the whole valley begins to soften toward evening. The stovepipe carries a faint and constant sound, the soft rush of warm air rising through the metal toward the cold sky. It is a low and breathy noise, almost like the sea heard from very far away, steady and smooth and endlessly patient. Beneath it the fire murmurs, and above it the night waits, and in between this gentle column of warmth keeps its quiet song. You lie in the glow of the stove and listen to the warmth traveling upward and away, leaving its heat behind in the small bright room. The sound never changes, never quickens, only continues, soft and round and reassuring, a steady breath that breathes you slowly down into sleep. The cabin's single lamp is turned low, and the moonlight through the window is bright enough to raid by. You set your book aside and simply watch the silvered world beyond the glass. Snow has gathered in soft mounds along the fence posts, each one capped and glowing, and the path you cleared earlier is a pale ribbon winding toward the trees. The moon is so bright that the stars near it have faded, leaving it alone in a wide dark sky. You pull the woolen throw higher around your shoulders and sink deeper into the cushions. The stove gives off a low, steady heat, and the room smells of cider and warm tea. Slowly, easily, you feel the night drawing you toward rest. Rain has settled into its long, even stride against the cabin roof, the sound of a night that means to keep itself this way until morning. You lie on a narrow bed near the window, watching the dim shapes of pine branches sway just barely in the dark. A single drop traces the glass, and you follow it with sleepy eyes until it slips from view. The wood stove holds a low, banked warmth that fills the small room like something kind. Outside, the snow has gone soft and quiet under the steady fall, no longer crisp but yielding, grey and gentle. You feel the warmth at your back and the cool of the glass before you, and somewhere between them, the rain carries you slowly under. The bed is warm and the room is dim, and you lie back against the soft pillows as the fire murmurs low across the cabin. A faint breeze sighs along the eaves, a soft and distant sound, then the night settles into deep and gentle silence. Through the window the pines stand dark and laden, the snow between them glowing faintly under the dim sky. The blankets are heavy and kind, holding the warmth close around you. You feel your body sink into the mattress, your breathing slow and even. There is nowhere to be tonight but here, wrapped in quiet and warmth. The deep stillness of the snowbound forest gathers softly around you, and your eyes grow heavy, easing you towards sleep. In a dense stand of young firs at the forest's edge, a flock of dark-eyed juncos has flowed down from the higher branches to roost low and close to the sheltering snow. They nestle among the thick green needles, their slate hoods and pale bellies hidden in the shadows, packed gently together for warmth. The snow lies undisturbed on the branches above them, a soft white roof. From the cabin doorway you catch only the faintest stir of movement before they go still. The cold cannot easily reach them there, wrapped in evergreen and one another's warmth. You step back inside, and the thought of those small birds sleeping safe in the firs follows you into the warm room like a lullaby. Perched high and alone on a dead snag, silvered by moonlight, a small saw-whet owl no larger than your fist sits utterly still against the night. Its round face is turned toward the silent forest, its yellow eyes half-lidded with rest. It does not move, it does not call. The snow lies clean on the branches around it, and the moon casts its tiny shape in soft relief. From the cabin you would need sharp eyes to find it, so well does it blend with the broken wood. There is a great calm in something so small holding so still, unafraid of the wide dark. You watch until your eyes grow heavy, and the little owl keeps its quiet vigil over the sleeping woods. The evening lamp glows softly, and you stand at the cabin window watching the snow fall in fine, drifting sheets. The flakes are small and countless, coming down in a slow, soft shimmer that blurs the dark pines into a gentle gray. Where the lamplight reaches, you can see the snow turning and settling, each crystal catching the glow for a moment. The clearing is filling slowly, the drifts smooth and rounded, the path nearly gone. There is no sound but the deep hush of falling snow. You breathe in the quiet and let your eyes go soft, taking in the whole gentle scene. The snow keeps coming, patient and tireless, and you feel a deep stillness settle over you, soft and complete as the snow itself. Within a dense cedar near the cabin's northern wall, a flock of cedar waxwings has gathered close on a sheltered branch, their sleek fawn bodies pressed together in a soft, warm row. By day they swept through the trees in glossy flocks. Now they are still, their black masks and pale crests dim in the dark, their small breaths rising and falling in unison. The cedar's thick fans of green shield them from the falling snow. From inside, you see only their rounded silhouettes lined along the bough. There is a quiet harmony in the way they rest as one, and watching them, your own restless thoughts seem to fold their wings and settle. The night holds the whole soft flock in peace. A worn leather-bound book lies closed on the arm of the chair, its spine cracked into soft pale lines, its corners rounded and frayed. You might lay a hand flat on its cover and feel the cool grained leather, the slight warmth it holds from the room, the faint give of pages pressed together for years. A thin satin ribbon trails from between its leaves, frayed at the tip. The gilt of its title has worn to faint, ghostly letters. The lamp glows low across the cover. The snow drifts past the dark window. The old book rests easy on the chair arm, holding its quiet pages closed for now, content to wait in the warm lamplight as the evening folds gently towards sleep. You have left the lamp burning low on purpose, just enough light to soften the dark and gild the rough ceiling beams, and now you lie beneath it listening to the rain. It comes down even and unhurried on the cabin roof, the sound of a sky that has settled in for the night. The wood stove holds a warmth you can feel in your bones. Through the window the snow has gone gentle and grey under the fall, and the pines stand patient and dripping in the dark. There is nothing to wait for and nothing to dread. The light is soft, the warmth is deep, the rain is endless and kind. You feel your breath slow and your body grow heavy, and you let the long sound take you. A spring evening rain begins, so light it is almost a mist, drifting over the snowy clearing around the little cabin. You stand at the doorway and watch it fall through the lamplight, each drop catching the glow for an instant before vanishing into the soft remaining snow. The pines darken and gleam, their needles beaded with water. The smell of rain on cold earth fills the cool air, clean and round and gentle. You breathe it in slowly. Behind you the hearth crackles low, casting warm shifting shadows across the wooden walls. There is nothing to do but listen to the whisper of the rain and the slow tick of the fire, and let the evening hold you. On the windowsill rests a small clay mug, half full and long since cooled, a faint ring of tea dried at its rim. Beyond it, the snowy pines stand in the hush of first light. The sky has turned the soft grey of a dove's wing, and a low pink glow is just beginning to warm the eastern edge of the trees. Inside the cabin, everything is dim and still. A wool blanket is folded over the back of a wooden chair. The braided rug holds the chill of night. You watch the light grow patient and slow across the floorboards, lengthening gently, and you feel your breathing settle into the same unhurried rhythm as the dawning day. The hearth fire has burned low, leaving the cabin in a warm, dim half-light, and you have pulled your chair to the window to watch the snow. It falls in a fine, soft drift, the flakes small and countless, blurring the dark pines into a soft grey smudge at the edge of the clearing. The firelight glints faintly on the frost at the corners of the glass. You let your breathing slow and your eyes half close, watching the snow through your lashes until it becomes a single shimmering veil. The cabin is quiet but for the soft settling of coals. Outside, the snow keeps falling, gentle and tireless, and you feel the calm of the night gather around you, soft and complete. On the cabin's small writing desk, a brass lamp waits unlit, and the golden evening fills the room so fully there is no need yet to switch it on. You sit at the desk with a pen resting in your hand, but you write nothing. Instead, you watch the light move across the wood, warm and slow, and let your thoughts drift wherever they wish. The pine forest stands quiet beyond the window, its crowns still gilded, its depths going soft and dim. The room smells of ink and old paper and a trace of wood smoke. You set the pen down. The gold light is its own kind of company, and you sit within it, calm and unhurried. Wrapped in a knitted blanket, you lean back in the old rocking chair and let it grow still beneath you. A faint breeze moves past the cabin, carrying the clean cold scent of snow and pine through a thin seam in the wall, and then the air settles into a deep and patient hush. The forest outside is dark and motionless, every pine bowed under soft white, every shadow at rest. The lamp glows low and amber on the table beside you, painting the room in gentle warmth. You feel the weight of the blanket and the quiet of the hour pressing softly around you. Your thoughts slow and grow faint, and the stillness of the winter night holds you, easy and unhurried, towards sleep. The cabin's wooden eaves are hung with icicles, long and clear, formed slowly through the cold nights. As the first dawn light touches them, they glow from within, each one holding a thread of pale gold and rose. A single drop forms at the tip of one and falls soundlessly into the snow below. Beyond, the pine forest stands in the hush of early morning, every branch laden with white. You watch from the window, warm beneath a heavy quilt, following the slow drip and the gentle brightening of the sky. The room is dim and still, the fire a soft glow of coals. There is nothing to do but rest, nothing to chase, only the quiet beauty of the morning slowly unfolding before you. In the small hours, a thin moon rises over the pines and pours its pale light through the cabin window, laying a long silver rectangle across the plank floor. You watch it from your pillow, the way it gleams on the worn wood, the way the shadows of the window pane fall soft and dark within it. The room is warm, the air faintly sweet with the scent of pine needles drying near the stove. Outside, every branch is heavy and motionless under its snow. The whole forest seems to be sleeping, and the cabin sleeps with it, and you are part of that slow shared rest. Your eyelids grow heavy in the moonlight, and you let them close. Inside, you light a single candle on the windowsill as the daylight goes, and its small flame doubles in the dark glass, a warm gold point hovering over the blue snow beyond. You watch the two flames, the real and the reflected, while the last of the sunset thins to nothing above the pines. The candle lanes and steadies in some unfelt draught, and its light wavers softly across the timber wall. The cabin is quiet and close and warm. Outside the world has gone to dusk, smooth and silent and cold, but here there is only the gentle gold of the flame and the deep peace of the early winter night settling in around you. The roof of the cabin bears a deep, smooth layer of snow that, in the first light, glows a soft and shadowless white. From a single spot near the chimney, where the warmth within has reached the surface, a thin thread of melt traces slowly down toward the eaves. You watch from inside, wrapped in quilts, as the dawn brightens the room by gentle degrees, the dark beams overhead warming from charcoal to soft brown. The pines beyond the window stand silent and white. The air inside is close and warm, holding the faint scent of wood smoke. There is nothing pressing in this hour, nothing that asks for your attention. You simply rest, breathing slow, letting the quiet morning hold you in its soft and patient embrace. Through the misted cabin window, the snowy forest is soft and grey and dreamlike. You sit in the warm dim with a blanket over your knees, watching the fog drift slowly past the pines. The trees fade and return as the mist moves, their dark trunks gentle against the pale haze. A candle burns steadily on the sill, its small flame doubled faintly in the cool glass. The fire glows low behind you, and the room holds its warmth close. There is nothing here that hurries. The fog drifts at the pace of breath, and you find your own breathing slowing to meet it. Your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts grow soft, and the gentle grayness beyond the window becomes a quiet lullaby, easing you slowly towards sleep. A bundle of dried lavender hangs from a beam in the cabin, and the golden evening light, slanting in, catches its faded purple and silver. You stand beneath it and reach up to brush the stems, and a faint sweet scent drifts down through the warm air. Beyond the window, the pine forest stands hushed, its high branches gilded by the sinking sun. The cabin is quiet and still. You breathe the lavender slowly, feeling the small calm of the scent move through you. There is no task that calls you now. You let your hand fall and stand a while longer in the gold light, easy and unhurried, as the long autumn evening settles gently over the trees. The cabin's wooden beams glow faintly as dawn light filters through the snow-laden trees. You lie still beneath layers of quilts, feeling the warmth pooled around you, reluctant to move. Above, the rafters are dark and steady, hung with a single dried bundle of lavender that scents the air. A clock ticks somewhere softly, slow and patient. Through the window you can see the sky lightening from deep indigo to a pale, milky grey. The forest beyond remains hushed and white. There is a deep comfort in this quiet hour when the world has not yet asked anything of you. You close your eyes again, listening to your own calm breathing, drifting in the gentle warmth. You sit on a low wooden stool before the open stove door, slowly stirring the embers back to life with with a long iron poker. Small sparks rise and fade, and the coals glow a deep, warm orange. Gradually the new wood catches, and gentle flames lick upward. Outside the cabin, the snowy forest is brightening in the pale morning light, the pines standing silent and white. The room fills slowly with warmth and the soft scent of burning pine. You watch the fire grow with quiet satisfaction, in no hurry, tending it gently. There is deep comfort in this slow morning task, in coaxing warmth from the embers while the still, snow-bright world wakes outside. Deep in the snowy pines, the deep cold of winter has settled over the little wooden cabin like a soft, heavy quilt. Outside, the air is so still that the cold itself seems to hold its breath, and frost has drawn pale ferns across every window pane. Inside, you sit near the small iron stove, listening to it tick gently as it warms. The thick log walls keep the chill out, and a wool blanket rests across your knees. You watch your slow breath fade in the dimness, then warm again near the embers. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing the cold can ask of you. You simply rest, wrapped and quiet, as the long winter night drifts on. Alone in the little cabin, you find the silence of the snowy night a deep and welcome rest. You sit by the window with a blanket about your shoulders, watching the soft fall of snow in the lamplight. A fond memory drifts up of a quiet library from your student days, the hush of it, the smell of old pages, the deep contentment of being lost in a good book, and you hold it gently. The recollection asks nothing, only keeps you company. The pines beyond the glass stand still and white, the forest deep in winter sleep. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts move slow and calm, and you feel a profound peace settle through you, the deep ease of being alone and content. Through the frosted upper panes, the afternoon sun breaks into soft prisms and scatters faint colors across the cabin wall. You sit in the old chair beneath it, watching the pale rainbow tremble and shift as the light moves. Beyond the clear lower glass, the snowy pines stand still and bright, their boughs softly laden. The room glows warm and gold, and dust turns lazily in the beam. The cabin is hushed but for the gentle settling of wood. You follow the faint colors with your eyes, slow and content, feeling the warmth of the sun on your knees. The afternoon stretches long and gentle around you, and there is nothing at all that needs doing, only this quiet watching. Inside the cabin, the fire glows low, and through the fogged windows the forest is a soft grey dream. You sit in the warm dim, a cup cooling beside you, watching the mist drift past the snowy pines. The trees fade in and out of the haze, gentle and patient, their branches white and still. The room smells of wood smoke and cedar. The fog presses softly at the glass, never asking entry, only keeping the cabin company through the long, quiet night. You feel the warmth on your face and the deep stillness all around. Your thoughts slow and soften, drifting like the mist itself. There is nothing to do here but rest, and so you rest, sinking deeper into the chair as the grey night drifts gently on. The cabin kitchen smells of warm bread cooling on the windowsill, baked earlier in the day and left to rest. On this mild summer night, you stand in the dim room, breaking off a soft piece, the crust still faintly warm. The open window lets in the hush of the forest and the cool green air. Moonlight falls pale across the wooden counter. Outside, the pines sway gently and a stream murmurs low. The bread is soft and comforting, the kitchen quiet and snug. You lean against the counter, chewing slowly, in no hurry at all. The warm night and the simple food fill you with a deep contentment. When the last bite is gone, you brush the crumbs away and stand a while longer in the gentle dark, calm and at peace. The snow outside the cabin lies so deep and smooth that it seems to glow faintly with its own pale light as dawn approaches. The pines are heavy with it, their lower branches bowed under soft white weight, the whole forest sunk in a tender hush. You sit near the window with a blanket across your knees, watching the first color seep into the sky, a slow brightening of gray into silver into the gentlest gold. A line of small bird tracks crosses the drift below the window, the only mark in all that softness. Nothing stirs. The cold air beyond the glass and the warm air within seem to hold each other in perfect, sleepy balance. The cabin smells of wood smoke and wet wool, and the faint green sweetness of pine, and the rain on the roof is a soft, unbroken hush. You sit on the floor with your back against the warm side of the wood box, a blanket around your shoulders, watching the last flames lower themselves into coals. Outside the window, the night is grey and gentle, the snow softening under the steady fall, the dark pines beaded with water. You have nowhere to go and nothing to carry. The warmth seeps into your back, and the rain seeps into your ears, and your thoughts grow slow and shapeless and kind. You let your head tip gently against the wood, and the rain keeps falling, and you go. The rain has been falling so long and so evenly that it has stopped being a sound and become a kind of silence, a soft grey hush that fills the cabin to its beams. You lie warm beneath the quilt and listen to it the way you might listen to your own breathing, without effort, without end. The fire is a low bed of coals now, glowing faint and orange. Through the window the pines stand still and dripping in the dark, and the snow lies gentle and grey beneath them. There is nowhere else and no other time. There is only this small warm room and the long soft rain. Your thoughts have slowed to almost nothing. The hush holds you and you let it carry you down. The cabin's old door, heavy and snug in its frame, gives a low groan now and then as the temperature shifts, a deep and woody sound that seems to come from the very bones of the place. It is slow and unhurried, more a settling than a complaint, and it is always followed by a long stretch of perfect quiet. You lie warm in your bed and listen to the door easing in its frame, the wood remembering the cold outside and the warmth within, speaking softly of the boundary between them. The sound comes once, deep and gentle, and then is gone, and the snug dark room folds back around you, and you sink a little deeper into rest. On the kitchen shelf lays a wooden spoon worn thin and pale, its bowl shaped into a soft asymmetry by years of stirring against the same side of the same pot. You might lift it and feel the silky grain, the slight scorch mark darkening one edge of the bowl, the smooth handle that fits the curl of a hand. The wood is dry and warm-toned, faintly fragrant of old kitchens. A fine split runs partway up the handle, harmless and familiar. The lamp glows low above the shelf. Snow gathers on the dark window. The old spoon rests against the wall, worn soft by countless quiet suppers, a humble, well-loved thing settling into stillness as the long night drifts gently past. The afternoon light reaches the windowsill where a small clay pot of rosemary grows, and it lights each needle to a soft glowing green. You lean close, breathing in the herb's clean scent, and watch dust drift through the warm beam beyond it. Outside, the snowy pines stand in quiet rows, edged in amber by the sinking sun. The cabin is hushed and warm, smelling of timber and earth. You trail a finger gently through the rosemary, and the light catches the fine hairs along the stems. There is a deep stillness in this small green life and the gold around it. You stay close a while, breathing slow, letting the warm light and the herb's calm fill you. Deep in the night, a soft wind rises and sifts the loose snow from the cabin's roof, sending it whispering down past the windows in a slow, pale curtain. You watch it from the bed, the way the lamplight catches the drifting flakes for a heartbeat before they vanish into the dark. The room is warm, the stove low and content. The forest beyond breathes its great winter silence. There is something deeply soothing in that falling veil of snow, in the warmth at your back, in the heavy soft quilts pinning you gently to the bed. You feel no need to move, no need to think. The wind sighs, the snow drifts down, and you drift down with it into easy sleep. On the mantel stands a small hourglass, its slender wooden frame holding 2 bulbs of clouded glass and a thin stream of pale sand. You might turn it gently and watch the grains begin their soft, silent fall, piling into a small growing cone in the lower bulb. The wood of the frame is worn smooth and warm-toned, the glass faintly fogged with age. The sand is the color of weathered bone, fine as dust. Firelight from the hearth glows softly through it. Snow drifts past the dark window in unhurried flakes. The little hourglass measures nothing important tonight. It simply lets its sand drift down in a slow, steady whisper, a small, quiet motion to watch as the evening eases towards sleep. The cabin windows have turned to mirrors of the blue evening, framing a forest gone dim and dreamlike. You move slowly through the small rooms, lighting a candle here, smoothing a blanket there, while the last of the daylight fades to a quiet indigo. Snow rests heavy and undisturbed on the windowsills, glowing faintly in the dusk. Inside, everything is warm and close and still. The wooden walls seem to breathe with the gentle heat of the stove. You settle into a deep chair and watch the blue deepen toward night beyond the glass, feeling no need to do anything but rest. The hour holds you softly, and your eyes grow heavy in the calm, dim light. The fire makes a long, slow sound now, a soft, continuous breathing of low flame, in and out, as steady as a sleeper's chest rising and falling in the warm, dim room. There is no crackle left, only this gentle, even murmur, the patient voice of a fire well settled for the night. You lie close to it and let your own breath fall into time with that soft, warm rhythm, the fire breathing and you breathing, the two of you keeping the same slow pace in the quiet. The glow flickers faintly on the ceiling, the warmth lies over you like a hand, and the long, soft breathing of the flames draws you gently down towards sleep. Late sun fills the small bathroom window, turning the steam from a warm basin to drifting gold. You stand at the little wooden washstand, the water gentle on your hands, watching light catch the rising vapor. The mirror holds a soft glow, and beyond the frosted glass the pines wear their snow in quiet rows, lit amber at the edges. The cabin is hushed and warm. You cup the warm water and let it fall slowly back, watching the light dance in it. There is a deep ease in this small, ordinary task done slowly. You dry your hands on a soft cloth and stand a moment in the gold, breathing in the steam and the calm. Among the bare branches of a birch silvered with frost, a small flock of common redpolls has settled to roost, their streaked bodies and dim red caps fluffed against the biting cold. These hardy little finches think nothing of the deep winter. They nestle close on the slender twigs, tuck their bills into their feathers, and let the long night pass. Snow drifts gently through the open branches, but the birds remain calm and still. From the cabin window the birch is a pale lacework against the dark, dotted with small sleeping shapes. There is a quiet courage in creatures so small enduring so great a cold with such ease, and the sight of them, peaceful and unbothered, steadies you and slows your breath. From the warmth of your bed, you listen to the deep silence of the snowbound morning, broken only now and then by the faint settling of the fire in the stove below. The cabin loft is dim and cozy, the slanted ceiling close above you. A small window shows a patch of pale sky, slowly brightening behind the snow-laden pines. You feel no urge to rise. The blankets are heavy and warm, and the morning is unhurried and kind. You let your thoughts drift lazily, like snow on a windless day, settling softly and then dispersing. There is such comfort in this quiet hour, this gentle border between night and day, that you simply rest, calm and content. An ember pops once in the stove, a small bright sound, and then the fire returns to its low and steady murmur, as though nothing happened. That single soft snap is the loudest thing in the room, and even it is gentle, swallowed at once by the warm hush that fills every corner. You let the brief sound pass through you without holding onto it, the way you might watch a single spark drift up and vanish. The fire settles back into its slow, contented voice, that endless low crackle and sigh, and the room is warm and dim and still. You breathe out slowly, and the small fire keeps its patient watch, and the night grows quieter still. The cabin sits quiet in a sea of evening fog, its small windows glowing gold. Inside, you have drawn a chair close to the fire and let the day fall away. Beyond the misted glass, the snowy pines stand half hidden, their needles furred with frost. The fog moves slowly, almost lovingly, around the trunks, never settling, never laving. A log shifts in the grate with a soft sigh of sparks. You feel the warmth on your face and the cool draft at your ankles, and somehow both are comforting. The grey world outside seems very far away, gentled by the mist into something soft and dreamlike. You close your eyes for a moment, and the quiet of the fog seems to seep into your very bones. The woodpile beside the cabin wears a thick cap of snow, and in the sunset its rough split faces glow a warm tang gold against the cool blue drifts. You bring in a last armful of logs before the dark, the bark cold and rough against your sleeve, the snow squeaking softly underfoot. The sky above the trees is a quiet wash of amber fading to gray. Your breath clouds and drifts. Inside, you stack the logs by the stove where they will dry and warm, and the small, honest task settles you. Then you stand a moment at the door, looking back at the glowing woodpile and the darkening pines, before easing it shut against the gentle cold. You have settled into the deepest chair in the cabin, close to the warmth of the stove, and from there you can just see the snow falling past the window. The flakes drift down softly in the dim evening light, slow and scattered, each finding its own way to the ground. The pines beyond are quiet silhouettes, their branches gathering thin lines of white. The cabin smells of wood smoke and warm wool. You let your eyes rest on the gentle fall, your thoughts growing softer with each drifting flake. There is nothing to chase, nothing to finish, only this slow and patient snow. The chair holds you, the stove warms you, and the falling snow lulls you, until your eyes close and the quiet of the night folds gently over you. The cabin windows have misted over from the warmth within, and through the soft blur you can see the foggy forest beyond. The snowy pines stand patient and grey, half dissolved in the haze. You draw a finger slowly across the glass, clearing a small clear circle, and watch the mist drift past outside. The fire glows low behind you, and the room is full of gentle warmth. The fog seems to soften everything, the trees, the snow, the very passage of time. There is no rush here, no sharpness, nothing that needs your attention. You let your hand fall and your gaze unfocus, and the misted window becomes a soft grey field, calming and endless, and your thoughts begin to slow and settle like snow coming gently to rest. A thin blanket of cloud has drifted away, and now the whole sky over the cabin is alive with quiet stars. You have come outside in your warmest coat, your breath clouding gently, and you stand at the edge of the porch to take it in. The snow stretches pale and smooth toward the dark wall of pines, and above it the stars shimmer in a hush so complete it feels like a held note. You let your eyes travel slowly across the sky, from one faint constellation to another, asking nothing of them, simply keeping company. The cold settles softly on your skin, and the warmth of the cabin waits behind you. For a long, peaceful while you simply watch the stars, and the night grows quieter still. Through a gap in the pines you can see the distant hills going dark blue in the dusk, their snowy slopes still faintly lit along the highest ridges where the sun lingers last. You watch them from the cabin window, the way the light retreats slowly upward and the blue deepens beneath it. The clearing nearer to you has already settled into shadow, soft and quiet. A single bird calls once, far off, then falls silent. The fire warms your back. You feel very small and very safe, a tiny warm point of light in a vast and gentle dusk, and you watch the far ridges fade until they are only a darker shape against the darkening sky. Through the cabin's east window, the afternoon sun reaches across the room and lights the foot of the stairs where a pair of soft slippers waits. The worn felt glows warm in the gold, and dust drifts slowly through the beam above them. You sit on the bottom step and slip your feet inside, feeling their gentle warmth. Beyond the glass, the snowy pines stand quiet and patient. The cabin is hushed, and the wood holds a soft heat from the sun. You rest your hands on your knees, and watch the light move slowly along the floor. There is a deep comfort in this small homecoming, and you sit a while in the warm gold, breathing slow, in no hurry to rise. Winter has pressed its deep cold against the cabin, and the eaves wear long, still icicles that catch the last violet light of dusk. Inside, you have piled extra wool blankets on the narrow bed and lit a single candle that wavers in the warm air above the stove. The cold makes a faint, clean smell, almost like stone, that mingles with wood smoke and pine. You pull the covers to your chin and feel the warmth gathering slowly around you, pushing the chill back to the far corners of the room. The frozen forest outside is hushed and patient. You watch the candle flame lane and right itself, until your eyes drift closed in the gentle, drowsy dark. A thin layer of fresh snow has fallen on the cabin's porch railing overnight, smooth and undisturbed in the early light. You notice it through the window as you sip your morning tea, marveling at its perfect, untouched surface. Beyond the porch, the snowy pines stand silent in the pale grey dawn, their branches heavy and still. The cabin is warm and dim around you, the stove glowing softly. You feel no urge to disturb the morning's quiet, content to simply observe its small details, the smooth snow, the soft light, the steam from your cup. The forest holds its calm, and you breathe slowly within the warmth, settled deep in the peaceful hush of the new winter day. On the still night air, from somewhere deep in the snowy woods, comes the soft muffled sound of more snow letting go from a distant tree, a faint padded thud that travels across the drifts and arrives at the cabin barely louder than a sigh. It is far away and gentle, a small soft event in the vast quiet forest, here and then gone into the hush. You lie warm in your bed and listen to that distant cushioned fall, and to the deep silence that follows it, and you feel how large and calm and snow-muffled the night is all around you. The forest breathes softly in the dark, and you breathe softly with it, and sleep draws near. From the porch you watch a thin summer mist begin to rise from the warm earth of the clearing, drifting low and pale among the dark trunks of the pines. The night is mild and still, the air heavy with the green scent of the forest. The mist curls and wanders slowly, glowing faintly where the moonlight touches it. The cabin is warm and golden behind you. Crickets sing in the long grass, and a stream murmurs somewhere beyond the trees. You sit very still in the soft dark, watching the mist drift and gather, dreamlike and slow. There is a deep peace in the rising fog and the patient stars above it. Your breathing slows, your thoughts grow soft, and the warm night seems to hold its breath along with you. The first light of a foggy morning seeps slowly into the clearing, turning the mist a soft pearl grey. From the cabin window you watch the snowy pines emerge and fade, as the fog drifts among them. Frost has feathered the corners of the glass. The room behind you is warm and dim, the fire a low orange glow. You wrap your hands around a cup and breathe in the quiet. There is no rush to greet this morning. It asks nothing of you but to be witnessed softly. The mist moves over the snow like slow water, and the trees stand patient within it. You settle deeper into your chair and let the gentle grayness fill you with a calm and drowsy peace. Through the kitchen window, the afternoon sun, catches the row of glass jars on the high shelf, and the light passes through them in soft bands of amber and gold. You stand at the counter, hands resting on the warm wood, watching the colors fall across the floor. Each jar holds something simple: oats, dried apple, honey, salt. The snowy pines beyond the glass stand quiet and bright. The cabin smells of flour and wood smoke. You move one jar an inch and watch the light shift and pool anew. There is no task to finish, no hurry at all. You linger in the warm slanting light, watching it glow through the glass, and your breathing settles slow and deep. Beneath the slanted ceiling of the loft, you lie still and watch the faint orange glow of the stove flicker far below. A faint breeze whispers through a seam in the timber, a thread of cool air that touches your face and is gone, leaving the night even quieter than before. Through the gable window the pines stand dark and motionless, the snow between them pale beneath the dim sky. The blankets are heavy and warm, holding you close against the cold. There is nothing to do now but rest, nothing to think of but the quiet. You feel your breathing slow to match the silence of the forest, and the deep stillness gathers softly around you, carrying you gently towards sleep. High in a dense pine near the cabin, a great horned owl sits in tall and silent stillness, its feathered tufts laid soft against its head, its large dark eyes half closed in rest. It has hunted earlier and is calm now, content to perch and let the deep night pass, blending into the shadows of the boughs. The snow gathers on the branches around it without a sound. From the cabin you sense, rather than see its quiet presence, a deep calm settled in the high dark. There is no restlessness in the owl, only patience and ease, and watching the place where it rests, you feel your own breathing slow and steady. The forest sleeps beneath its silent watch, and you drift towards sleep along with it. The cabin holds a deep and restful silence, and you sit alone within it, content and unhurried. The lamp glows amber on the windowsill, and beyond it the snowy pines stand dark and patient. A fond memory rises softly of a summer hammock strung between two trees, the slow sway of it, the dappled light, the lazy drift toward an afternoon nap, and you hold it gently in the dim room. The recollection brings only sweetness. Outside, the snow falls slow and silent over the sleeping woods. The fire breathes its low orange light. There is nowhere you must be, nothing left undone, only this peaceful solitary hour, and you let your eyes grow heavy, your thoughts settling soft and slow into a deep and gentle calm. Far overhead in the crown of the tallest pine, a bald eagle has settled onto its favored roosting branch, drawing its great body into a still dark shape against the stars. Its white head is tucked low, its powerful wings folded close, its fierce eyes softened with rest. It is not hunting now. It sits in calm command of the quiet night, the snow gathering lightly on the branch beside it. From the cabin you see only its broad silhouette high above, motionless and serene. There is a profound stillness in so great a bird at rest, a deep and easy peace that seems to settle over the whole forest beneath it. You watch a while, then breathe slow, and the eagle's calm becomes your own in the dark. Alone in the snowbound cabin, you find that solitude tonight is a wide and gentle peace, a still room in which your whole life seems to rest softly behind you. You sit by the low fire, a blanket warm across your knees, watching the embers glow. A memory rises of countless small ordinary evenings, the warmth of home, the murmur of loved voices, the deep and quiet good fortune of a life gently lived, and you hold it all fondly. The recollection warms you, asking nothing. Beyond the frosted window, the pines stand heavy with snow. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts grow slow and calm, grateful and unhurried, and you feel a profound peace settle through you, complete and quiet as the snowfall, your mind drifting softly towards sleep. Behind the cabin, a few late vegetables linger in the garden, and you crouch among them in the golden light to gather the last of the season. A small pumpkin, cool and heavy, fills your hands. Its skin glows almost orange where the sun reaches it. The pine forest stands quiet at the garden's edge, dark green deepening toward dusk. The earth is cool and slightly damp beneath your knees, and the air smells of leaves and turned soil. You work slowly, in no hurry to finish, setting each vegetable gently in a worn basket. The light fades by soft degrees. When the basket is full, you carry it in, and the warm doorway welcomes you home. From your bed, you can see the moon caught in the branches of the tallest pine, as though the tree were cradling it. Its glow filters down through the needles and lays a lattice of soft shadows across the snow. The cabin is warm and dark around you, the only light the gentle silver spilling through the window onto the foot of your quilt. You watch the moon slip free of the branches and float higher, growing brighter against the deep blue-black sky. A faint whisper of wind stirs the topmost boughs, then stills again. You burrow a little deeper into the warmth of your blankets, your thoughts drifting as slowly as the clouds, until the moonlit window becomes a soft pale blur and sleep takes you gently. A loose pine cone, knocked free by the wind, rolls a little way along the cabin's wooden porch with a soft and hollow sound before coming gently to rest. It is a small homely noise, the kind that belongs to the quiet life of the forest, here for a moment and then gone into stillness. You picture it out there in the dark, settled now against the porch rail, while the wind moves on through the trees. The sound does not return, and you do not wait for it. You simply let it join the other small soft noises of the night, the fire and the wind and the settling wood, all of them weaving together into a quiet that gently carries you down. In a roomy nest box mounted on a pine near the cabin, a cluster of tiny pygmy nuthatches has bundled together for the night, a dozen small bodies sharing the warmth of one another against the deep cold. They have done this every winter night, packing into the snug wooden box until the chill cannot touch them. Inside it is dark and close and warm. The snow falls soft on the slanted roof of their little house. From your own warm cabin you glance at the small box on the trunk and feel a quiet kinship with its sleeping crowd. A shelter shared is warmth doubled, and the thought of it spreads through you like the heat of the low fire, easy and slow. A pair of lamps glows gold in the cabin windows now, and from where you stand in the snowy clearing, they look impossibly warm against the cold blue dusk all around. You lingered out here a moment too long, watching the sunset fade, and now the cold has crept in through your sleeves, but the sight of the warm windows is its own small comfort. The pines stand dark and still. The last rose has nearly left the sky. You crunch slowly back across the snow toward that gold and welcoming light, your breath rising before you, and with each step the warmth feels nearer, until you reach the door and the soft glow folds gently around you. Long past midnight, the cabin's woven rug holds the day's warmth still, and the floor is soft and mild beneath the spot where you step to add a last small log to the stove before returning to bed. Now you lie wrapped in quilts, watching the new flame take hold, a gentle leaping orange light that throws warm shadows up the timber walls. Outside, the snowy forest stands deep in its silence, each branch heavy and still. The window wears a thin lace of frost. The fire crackles softly, settling, and the warmth spreads through the little room. You feel safe and held and pleasantly heavy, and as the flames lower to a steady glow, your eyes lower with them towards sleep. In the deep midwinter cold, the pine forest has fallen into a profound hush, every needle and branch sheathed in frost. From the cabin window you watch the snow glow faintly blue in the starlight, smooth and unbroken across the clearing. Inside, the stove radiates a soft, even warmth, and you have pulled a thick blanket up to your shoulders in the armchair. The chill cannot reach you here, it only leans gently at the glass and the door. You feel your breathing slow, your hands warm, your eyelids grow heavy in the dim amber light. The frozen night is endless and calm, asking nothing of you. You simply rest, held in the small warm heart of the cabin, drifting slowly towards sleep. In the quiet cabin, alone and at ease, you rest in the old rocking chair as the night deepens over the snowy pines. The chair creaks softly beneath you, a low and soothing sound, and a single lamp glows on the table nearby. A memory rises gently of a porch on a summer evening years ago, the slow rock of a chair just like this one, the murmur of voices, the fading light, and you hold it fondly, warmed by its kindness. Beyond the frosted glass, the forest sleeps beneath its smooth white weight. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts grow slow and calm, rocking gently with the chair, and you feel a tender peace settle through you, complete and quiet as the winter night. On the kitchen counter sits a small stone mortar and its rounded pestle, both carved from pale grey granite flecked with darker grains. You could lift the pestle and feel its cool, heavy fit in your palm, the smooth, worn bowl of the mortar where years of grinding have polished the stone to a soft sheen. A faint dusting of dried herbs still clings to its inner curve, releasing a whisper of pepper and thyme. The granite is cold to the touch, dense and steady. The lamp glows low above the counter, and snow gathers on the dark window. The little mortar rests in patient wait, holding its faint kitchen fragrances, asking nothing of the evening but to sit solid and still as the night grows deep. A small fire of fragrant pine sits low in the stone hearth, more for the soft light than for warmth on this mild summer night. You sit on a thick rug before it, knees drawn up, watching the embers glow and shift. The flames are low and lazy, casting a gentle orange light across the wooden walls. Through the open door, the warm night air drifts in, mixing the smell of wood smoke with the green scent of the forest. Outside, the pines stand black against a star-strewn sky. A log settles softly with a quiet sigh of sparks. You feel pleasantly drowsy, your gaze drifting along the dimming coals. The night is warm, the fire is kind, and your thoughts grow slow and soft as ash. From the window seat, you watch the dark pines stand motionless beneath a sky thick with quiet cloud, the snow below glowing faintly pale. A faint breeze drifts across the clearing now and then, barely stirring the powder before the air falls still again. The cabin is warm at your back, the lamp low, the stove breathing soft orange light. You feel the cool of the glass against your cheek, and the calm of the hour settling deep in your chest. There is nothing pressing here, nothing to hurry toward. You let your gaze rest on the silent forest, the snow and the trees and the dim sky, and the deep stillness eases your thoughts, slow and gentle, toward the soft edge of sleep. The cabin's window has gathered a soft bloom of condensation at its edges, and through the clear center, you watch the sunset paint the snow in slow strokes of melon and rose. You draw one fingertip across the misted glass, and the cool clearing sharpens into view, the pines beyond standing patient and dark. The light is leaving gently, the way it always does here, with no drama and no hurry. Behind you the fire murmurs, and the room holds its warmth close. You lower your hand and simply watch, letting the colors deepen and dim through the small clear window, until the snow turns the pale blue of evening and the first soft dark steals in among the trees. The frost has drawn delicate patterns across the window pane, and you trace one with your eyes in the low lamplight. A faint breeze passes outside, just enough to lift a thin shimmer of snow from the nearest pine before the air falls still and the forest holds its quiet again. The cabin is warm around you, dim and soft, the stove glowing low in the corner. You feel calm settle deep in your chest, like snow gathering on a windless night. There is no rush in this hour, no place you need to be. You let your gaze drift across the frosted glass and the dark pines beyond, and the deep stillness eases your thoughts, slowing them gently toward the warm edge of rest. The forest at first light is a study in soft grays and gentle whites, every color muted by snow and the dim glow of approaching dawn. From the cabin's small porch window, you can see the path leading away between the pines, already softened by overnight powder. A pair of snowshoes leans against the wall, dusted with frost, waiting for a day that is in no hurry to begin. Inside, the air smells of pine resin and cold stone. You wrap both hands around a warm mug and watch the sky lighten, that slow shift from charcoal to pearl. There is no clock that matters here, no task pulling at you, only the wide, patient quiet of the waking woods. In the deep middle of the night, snow has begun to fall once more, settling onto the cabin's window ledge in a soft growing ridge of white. You watch it gather from your warm bed, flake upon silent flake, the lamplight gilding its near edge. The stove gives a low, steady warmth, and the room is dim and peaceful. Beyond the falling snow, the forest is lost in darkness, mile upon quiet mile of laden pine. The hush is so complete it feels like a soft weight, gentle and reassuring. Your thoughts have slowed to almost nothing now, drifting like the snow. You let your eyes close, and the slow soundless falling continues behind your lids, carrying you down into rest. A thin draft finds its way beneath the door and stirs the edge of a curtain, which sways with the faintest rustle of cloth, back and forth, slow as a pendulum winding down. It is the softest of sounds, a gentle brushing whisper of fabric moving in the dim room, and then it stills, and then it stirs again as the night air breathes quietly under the door. You lie warm beneath your blankets and watch the dim shape of the curtain swaying, and listen to its faint, soft rustle, that small, calm motion at the edge of the room. The draft eases, the curtain settles, and the quiet returns, and you settle with it, deeper and deeper into rest. On a branch close enough to touch with the window open, a single white-breasted nuthatch has stopped its daytime climbing and settled into stillness for the night. It clings to the bark in its usual head-downward way, but now it is quiet, its slate-blue back turned to the cold and its pale belly tucked against the trunk. Its small eyes close. The bird that spent the day spiraling busily around the trees has finally come to rest, and in its rest there is a quiet kind of contentment. You lower the lamp and lean back, watching its faint shape against the bark. The pine holds it steady through the long, soft hours, and the night feels gentle and complete. You have lain down on the bed with your head near the window, so that the stars fill your whole view as you settle into sleep. The night is clear and deep, the sky scattered with countless quiet points of light over the dark forest. The pines stand still beneath their snow, the clearing glowing faintly in the starlight. The cabin is warm, the quilt soft and heavy around you. You let your eyes rest on the stars, your breathing slow and even, your thoughts drifting loose in the quiet. There is nothing left to do but rest. The stars keep their patient places above the snow, and as you watch them through half-closed eyes, they soften and blur, carrying you gently down into warm, untroubled sleep. You have let the fire burn down nearly to ash, trusting the deep warmth already in the cabin's wood and your own piled blankets to see you through, and now the room is dark but for the dim red glow of the last coals and the pale grey of the window. The rain keeps falling, soft and steady, on the roof above. The pines drip in the dark beyond the glass, and the snow lies gentle and grey. There is a deep and quiet trust in this hour, in letting the fire go low, in knowing the warmth will hold. You lie still and warm in the near dark, your eyes heavy, your breath slow. The rain murmurs on above you, patient and endless, and you let it draw you down into sleep. The morning light comes soft and diffused through the snow clouds, filling the cabin with a gentle, shadowless glow. You move slowly about the small room, straightening a blanket, setting a cup upon its saucer, in no particular hurry. Outside, fine snow drifts down in a slow, steady curtain, blurring the pines into soft grey shapes. The world beyond the window is muffled and dim and peaceful. Inside, the stove keeps the air warm and still. You pause by the window to watch the snow fall, then settle into your chair with a quiet sigh of contentment. There is nothing pressing this morning, only the soft fall of snow and the gentle warmth of the waking cabin. A small reading lamp glows beside the cabin window, and you pause from your book to watch the snow. It is falling lightly, the flakes spaced out and unhurried, each one drifting down in its own slow spiral. The lamplight catches them as they near the glass, turning them briefly to little sparks of gold before they settle on the sill. The forest outside has gone quiet and soft, the pines wearing their thin white coats. You let the book rest open on your lap and simply watch, your attention slowing to match the gentle pace of the flakes. The cabin holds you in its warmth, and the snow keeps falling, calm and constant, until your thoughts grow as soft and light as the drifting white. The wind has eased to almost nothing, and now the rain falls straight down through the still dark, an even silver curtain just visible in the porch light's glow. On the cabin roof it makes its long soft sound, the same patient note held all night through. Inside, the fire is a low orange breathing, and the lamp a small amber star. You lie warm beneath the blankets and watch the steady fall through the window, the way it dimples the soft grey snow, the way it beads on the dark pine boughs. Your breath has slowed to match the rain. There is nothing sharp in this night, nothing that asks to be solved. There is only the gentle, even fall and the warm dark, and the slow slide towards sleep. Through the cabin window at midnight, the fog glows faintly grey beneath a hidden moon. You sit wrapped in a blanket, watching the mist drift among the snowy pines, slow and soft and endless. The trees are dark suggestions within it, their branches heavy with white. A single candle burns on the sill, doubled faintly in the cool glass. The fire murmurs low behind you, and the room holds its warmth close. The fog seems to hush the whole night, smoothing it into one long calm. You feel your thoughts grow slow and round and untroubled, drifting like the mist itself. There is nothing here to disturb you, nothing to reach for. You let the gentle grey drifting carry you, and your eyelids grow heavy, and the quiet deepens towards sleep. Moonlight pours over the snowy clearing where your little wooden cabin rests, turning the white drifts a soft silver blue. You stand at the window and watch the pines stand tall and still, their branches heavy with snow that glows faintly in the cold light. Nothing moves out there but the slow drift of a single flake catching the brightness. Inside, the room is warm and dim, the stove ticking gently as it settles. You rest your forehead against the cool glass for a moment, breathing slowly, feeling the hush of the forest settle into your chest. The moon hangs high and round above the treetops, patient and quiet, and you let your shoulders soften beneath its calm, steady glow. It is deep in the night, and the snowdrifts have risen halfway up the cabin's north wall, so that the room feels swaddled, buried softly in white, warm and safe within its blanket of snow. You lie listening to the deep, muffled silence this brings, the way every sound seems to fall away into softness. The stove holds a low, steady warmth, its embers glowing faintly orange. The window is a dim blue square, the pines beyond barely visible in the dark. There is something deeply comforting in being so wrapped and sheltered, while the cold winter night presses gently all around. Your thoughts grow slow and warm and shapeless, and you sink down into the bedding, drifting easily towards sleep. Beneath your heavy quilt you watch moonlight slide slowly down the cabin wall as the night deepens. It enters bright through the window and lays its pale silver across the planks, inching lower with the climbing moon. Beyond the glass the snowy pines glow softly, their branches bowed and gleaming, utterly still in the windless cold. The room is warm and dim, the stove ticking gently as its embers cool. You feel cradled, unhurried, wrapped in warmth while the bright, clean world keeps its quiet watch outside. Each slow shift of the moonlight on the wall marks the passing of the peaceful hours. Your eyelids grow heavy, and you let them close, the silver glow lingering softly behind them as you drift towards sleep. The cabin door is closed against the cold, but you have wiped a clear patch in the frosted glass to watch the evening snow. It falls in the lightest flurry, the flakes so fine they look like a soft mist drifting down among the pines. The lamp beside you hums faintly and casts its warm light onto the snow just outside, where you can see each tiny crystal turning slowly as it falls. The forest beyond fades into a soft grey dimness. You wrap your hands around a warm cup and lean closer to the glass, your breath leaving a small bloom of fog that slowly clears. The snow keeps falling, gentle and endless, and you feel your whole body settle into the quiet of it. In the quiet cabin, alone and at ease, you watch the firelight flicker across the worn wooden floor as the night deepens over the snowy pines. Solitude tonight feels like a soft and gentle friend. A memory drifts up of a grandmother's rocking chair, the slow creak of it, the warmth of her lap, the safety of being small and held, and you hold the recollection fondly, warmed by its kindness. It asks nothing of you. Beyond the frosted window, the forest sleeps beneath its white weight, motionless and serene. The fire breathes low and steady. Your thoughts move slow and calm, and you feel a tender peace settle through you, deep and quiet as the winter night, your mind drifting gently toward rest. You have drawn the curtain back so you can watch the rain, and now you lie warm beneath the quilt with the grey window before you, the soft fall just visible against the porch light. The cabin is dark and close and kind. On the roof the rain keeps its long, even sound, and the wood stove holds its low red warmth. Beyond the glass the snow lies soft and grey, and the pines stand dripping in the patient dark. There is something deeply restful in simply watching the rain come down, asking nothing of it, expecting nothing but its steady fall. Your eyes grow heavy with the watching. The drops blur into a single soft grey motion, and the motion blurs into sleep, and you go. Beneath a warm blanket on the cabin floor, you lie and watch the snow fall through the low window. From here the flakes seem to drift down from a great soft height, slow and scattered, each one wandering its own way toward the ground. The lamp glows low and warm, and the cold of the window meets the warmth of the room just above your head. The pines beyond are dim and softened by the day's gathered snow. The cabin is quiet but for the faint settling of the fire. You watch the flakes come down, slow and endless, and feel your thoughts grow light and drifting, until the gentle fall of the snow has carried you nearly to sleep, soft and warm and unhurried. Out on the porch, an old wooden table holds a bowl of summer berries, and you sit beside it in the warm dark, eating them slowly one by one. The night air is mild and sweet, full of pine and ripening grass. The berries are soft and faintly cool, bursting gently on your tongue. Beyond the railing, the pines stand dark and tall, and fireflies drift among them like slow green stars. The cabin glows warm at your back. Crickets sing their steady song, and a stream murmurs far off in the dark. You eat without hurry, savoring each small sweetness, your thoughts drifting easily. The warm night is generous and kind. When the bowl is empty, you sit a while longer, content, your eyes growing heavy beneath the patient stars. Alone in the little cabin, you find the silence of the winter night deeply soothing, a soft space in which old kindnesses can return to you. You sit by the low fire, watching its gentle light play across the dark beams. A memory rises of a teacher long ago who believed in you, a few quiet words of encouragement that stayed with you all these years, and you hold the recollection fondly, warmed by its lasting gift. Beyond the frosted window, the pines stand heavy with snow, the forest deep in winter rest. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts move slow and calm, gentle and unhurried, and you feel a profound peace settle through you, the deep ease of being alone with your own grateful heart. The cabin's small window has fogged at its lower edge, and through the clear upper pane, you watch the rain fall slantwise through the porch light's glow. Each drop flares for an instant, silver and brief, then vanishes into the snowbank below. The roof carries a soft, continuous murmur, the kind that fills a room without filling your thoughts. Behind the wood stove's iron door the embers pulse a dim and steady red. You are sunk deep into a cushioned bench, a blanket over your knees, your breath slow. The pines stand far off in the dark, gathering rain on their crowns. You think of nothing in particular, and that nothing is soft and welcome, and the rain keeps falling, patient and even, easing you down towards sleep. The cabin is warm and the night is deep, and you watch the snow fall through the small window above your bed. The flakes drift slowly past the glass, faint and pale in the low glow of the embers, turning gently as they come. There is no wind to disturb them, only the soft and patient fall. The pines beyond are dark and still, their branches heavy with the day's snow. You lie on your back and watch the flakes through half-closed eyes, following one and then another down past the window's edge. The cabin holds you warm and safe, and the snow keeps falling, gentle and endless, and the slow, soft motion of it rocks your thoughts down, easy and unhurried, into a calm and peaceful rest. And at the very end of the night, with the fire low and the wind still, and the snow lying deep and silent all around, the cabin holds a quiet so complete that it is almost a sound in itself, a soft warm fullness pressing gently on your ears. You can hear the faint murmur of the embers, the slow tick of cooling wood, the whisper of your own slow breath, and beneath it all the great kind silence of the snowbound world. There is nothing left to listen for, nothing left undone, only the warm dim room and the deep peaceful hush of the forest at rest. You close your eyes and the gentle quiet gathers you in, and you drift softly, slowly, all the way down into sleep. Dawn is hours away, and a thick mist lies over the snowfield like a fallen cloud. From beneath your quilt you can see it through the cabin window, glowing faintly with the last of the moonlight. The pines stand half dissolved within it, their dark trunks fading upward into nothing. Now and then the fog shifts, revealing a single snow-laden branch before veiling it again. The cabin is warm and still, the floorboards cool beneath a thrown rug, the air scented faintly with wood smoke. You do not need to rise or think or move at all. You let the slow drifting of the mist carry your thoughts away with it, out among the trees, where they soften and scatter and finally settle into rest. A soft spring mist settles over the clearing around the cabin this evening, blurring the edges of the pines into gentle gray shapes. You stand at the window with a warm cup in your hands, watching it drift slowly past the lamplight. The last snow gleams faintly beneath the haze, and the air smells cool and round and full of thaw. The forest is muffled and still, every sound softened by the mist. Behind you the hearth glows low, painting the wooden walls in warm amber. You feel wrapped in quiet, sealed away from the world in this small lit room. Your breathing slows to match the slow drift of the fog, and a deep ease settles over you like a blanket. A length of soft twine is wound around a flat wooden spool that lives in the drawer of the side table. You might roll it across your palm and feel the smooth worn wood, the slight give of the wound cord, the frayed loose end that tickles your fingertip. The twine is the warm color of straw, faintly fuzzy smelling of dry fiber, and a little of the cedar draw. Someone has notched the spool's edge to keep the end from slipping. Outside the window, snow falls slow and steady into the dark. The little spool asks for nothing tonight. It simply holds its tidy coil, ready and patient, a small useful thing resting easy in the lamp's low glow as the evening settles deep. Let yourself sink now into the warmth and the quiet and the soft, heavy blankets. The snow falls silently beyond the glass, the fire glows low, and the whole forest sleeps around you. There is nothing left to do but rest. Let your thoughts grow slow and dim, let your muscles soften completely, and let the peaceful hush of the winter night carry you down. Sleep gently now. You have earned this rest.